ready. The pain and exhaustion only makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons more. But then again, I'm not DMing this one.
Sure.
I get that.
So, last time we did this.
On Critical Role.
Last time on Critical Role.
Oh, it's...
Yeah. Well, you all set up a plan. A very clever plan. And as with many D&D plans, it semi-fell through. You were ambushed by a bunch of bats and wolves and other things after a failure to kill the real Otrax. You all then gave chase, or rather you were the ones being chased. Though, with clever work from some good survival rolls from Loop and Lest, and a very clever maneuver from Escale, implementing darkness in his familiars, you managed to then stealth as they passed you all. With a majority of their forces out of the cave, you returned. And after a very short pseudo-conversation with Otrax, the battle ensued. Otrax, a powerful wizard despite being a squirrel, wrecked the group heavily with a cone of cold. And with a bear doing the finishing blow on the doctor, it almost looked as if the thing to do was to run. But
That wouldn't have... Nah.
Summer, Lest, and even Escale stayed behind and made sure to fight. Escale shooting a Eldritch Blast and then Sokka-style Water Tribe, leaving the cave for a bit. Yeah, because of how weakened he was. And Lest firing a powerful volley of magic missiles. And Summer doing her gun thing, which she does. You guys managed to bring them down. And now, with the cave quiet, and a little over 10 minutes of time before you are greeted by other unpleasant enemies, the notes in the lab of Otrax is there. And there is a tunnel that goes deeper into the cave, if that interests you. And that's where we left off. So
TPK time.
TPK time. Yeah.
Well, Summer doesn't know everything that's up yet.
No, you don't know jack shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I regained consciousness like 4 seconds ago. I'm gonna
Hey,
go
y'all,
right
I have to let my dog out of my room now. I'm sorry.
No worries, go ahead.
Do it.
You're dead. It's okay.
We don't really need you here anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
You're dead. It's fine.
I'm gonna go check on Caden.
All right. So as you go to check on Caden, that's what you're doing. Lest, what are you doing? Because we're working on a timer here in a sense of 10 minutes. So Lest, what are you doing?
What is in 10 minutes?
It's only like 600 rounds. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look inside Summer's out, right?
Summer is awake and is moving towards the doctor, I believe.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctor too, and I'm gonna we just gotta get the fuck out of here.
Escale, what are you doing?
Slowly coming back into the cave and taking count of what's going on. I believe I still have 2 of my pets up.
As you enter the cave, Escale, your crystal in your hand glows slightly. And you notice it's glowing on one side. And as you sort of move it, it changes the direction of which side the crystal is glowing. But it is always pointing towards the sort of lab setup that Otrax has in the room.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Pit stop by Caden first, but check that later.
Sure. So as all of you gather around Caden, Some of you were there first. What are you wanting to do? Kane's body, a medicine check, what
mean-
do you want to do?
Yeah, I don't know he's dead yet. Like, is
Yeah,
he dead?
just I would actually. I'm not going to say
Well, I
make a
checked his
medicine check. You
pulse.
feel his pulse. Yeah, like he is dead. And Leston Escales, you arrived then as well. Yeah, Caden is very much dead.
All right. Cool. We can probably carry him. Oh, Summer freaks out appropriately, but moves on. And also has.
Thanks for the proper grief.
We have a very limited amount of time. She intends to bring Caden back, and she's not going to bring Caden back, or attempt to. If this works, she's not going to be able to look at him with a straight face and say, "No, I didn't check out the wizard's lab or try to discover the secrets of Critterton." Right?
No,
like,
do that shit. Do it. Dope.
Hey, this is an absolute win. Now I'm the party wizard.
What was that? A dove?
Scales the party wizard. That's so funny.
I go steal some. I have to be careful because we have to look for the glyphs on the ground every time we move.
Oh shoot,
But
yes.
I go.
I'll follow.
I want to
Yeah.
investigate the room, the squirrel himself. If
Sure.
he's
So Escale and
yes.
Summer, who are both, I think, interested in investigating this stuff, I want you both to make an investigation check to watch your steps for glyphs.
Oh. that's
Though
right, I'm
Escale,
really
if you
good
are
at
following
investigation.
Summer,
Yeah.
we'll give Summer advantage because we'll say you're helping.
okay.
That's very good. Yes.
Yeah.
As a wizard, you should be helping all the
Nice.
time.
Yeah,
The
of course,
advantage
of course.
was the advantage was a very good thing because I rolled a 3 first and a 19 second.
Very good.
So that'll be a 22.
22. Okay. You guys managed to maneuver around the glyphs well, making your way towards the lab. And as you guys arrive, I'd hate to make you do another investigation check, but that's probably what I'm going to have you do. You could either do a perception check just to see if you notice anything in particular.
Me?
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I think to be fair.
Go ahead.
Oh, just that I think Summer is focusing. I mean, like, she's got kind of. First of all, is this an old structure?
This cave? I mean, it's just a cave. The stuff here, the lab itself, seems to be an assortment of old and new things.
I mean, if this was ever used for a purpose before by some other people or civilization, and then it was abandoned.
You have an
Is that-
archaeology background. You are not getting any archaeological. This is a
Gotcha,
cave.
cool.
Yeah, this
Wondering-
is a cave.
okay,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
What-
some caves were civilizations, but you never know.
What I'll have you do, Summer, is make an investigation check, and what I'll have you do, Escale, is make a perception check, because I think that kind of
Beautiful.
hits where you guys are kind of coming at this lab from.
21.
21, and then your investigation, Summer.
17.
Okay, I've got those numbers, 21, 17. Real quick, Lest, you are still with Caden's body. What are you doing?
I think he's like hyping himself to like carry a dead body.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of pacing back and forth around the body, and then waiting for Summer and Eskiel to give him like the okay to like actually lift up the body so that he's not holding it while he's waiting for them.
Yeah.
Summer, if she sees this, might just say like, I know this is a weird sort of time, but I have carried dead bodies before. If you want me to.
Dope. Cool. Proficient.
Escale's
in
been a dead
carrying
body before.
corpses.
Not for these distances, but also we just need to get far enough away to build basically like a stretcher.
So,
and that won't be that far. We'll have rope. We just need to get far away from these other bears that are coming back.
Quick
As you-
interjection.
Wait,
Is Luke
yeah,
still
Escale.
around?
yeah, Loop is, I would say, currently with Les, because he would have been closest to Les at the time.
Okay.
And hopped up on his shoulder. And he's also kind of like, oh dear. Oh dear. But real quick, so with the perception scale, you
Yeah.
notice Summer seems to be sort of keeping an eye on Lest to a degree, because obviously Lest is a sibling. And in that moment where Summer is more focused on the academic notes and also checking up on Lest, your crystal glows brighter. And looking in a direction, you see a sort of vial. It's a blue vial. It's sort of tucked away in a corner on the desk.
Okay.
It has this sort of wispy glow in it, and your crystal seems to be pointing heavily towards that.
I will approach the vial.
All right.
Where are we on time?
I mean, I'd say about a minute and at this point a minute and a half. You guys carefully moved over and are just now looking. Would have immediately noticed the vial with your perception and it's been a minute and a half. Don't even worry.
Okay.
But do you want to take the vial, or do you want to examine it?
I would like to look at it
Sure.
and what's around it.
Make an investigation check then.
Alright,
More
big
specific.
-1. Here we go.
Here we go, boys.
6.
6.
Yep.
It's a blue, glowy, wispy vial. It's in a very nice glass thing. But
Okay.
crystal is very much glowing.
Is there anything that stands out around it?
As you kind of look around with your perception, there are a variety of other sort of bottles here with different glowing liquids as well. Some of them labeled.
Oh.
And with your 21 perception, I'd say you just sort of quickly scan them. There's one that says it says sentience reversal. There's another potion vial that says essentially what's the term? A vial that essentially says cease spread. Cease spread of
Okay.
sentience. And so looking at it, you can pretty much put together that cease spread of that is well, actually I'm just not. You can figure that out. Cease spread of sentience, desentience, variety of things like that.
Okay.
And I would say of the ceasing the spread, there are 5 bottles of that.
And are one of these the ones that are glowing, or the glowing ones entirely different?
The glowing one's entirely different. You found a smaller vial tucked away that the
Ah.
crystal was interested in. These are more on display and labeled. The small bottle you noticed is not labeled.
Okay.
And in of the reverse sentience, there is only 2 bottles.
Okay. I'd like to say I take all of them.
Good. Just sort of put your hand on the thing and whoop all into a bag of holding essentially.
Yep. Just take
Yeah.
them all, except, not breaking them.
Yeah.
Um,
And do you take the really small one too?
Yeah, I don't know if I can take a further look at it. I don't know if I roll for anything, but I'm going to take a further look at it. Be like,
If you wanna
odd?
do an Arcana check, I will allow you to do that as well. It's technically
Yes.
a different check than an investigation check.
As the
Anyway.
wizard, I
Yeah,
rolled
as
a
the-
natural 1 -1.
So 0.
Yes, sir.
You are under the impression that whatever this vial is,
Yeah.
it might turn you into an animal, maybe, or perhaps some sort of transmutation potion.
Those rules really said head empty, no thought.
So,
Wizard, man.
yeah, and then real quick with Summer's investigation, quickly looking over the papers while the little check-in you had with Les there, being like, hey, I know how to lift bodies and all that.
Yeah.
The notes are pretty small. They're squirrel-sized. But, sifting through them, and with the archaeological research you are familiar with, there is reference to the Dark Continent.
Oh.
And what was your investigation? Was 17?
17.
Yeah, you feel like if you were to take these notes with you, you could maybe gather more later, but
Right.
the adrenaline's
Well, I mean-
still kind of running, you know, and so you're
Maybe
kind
the
of.
I think the most important thing is just making sure, like, that there are no glyphs around this space that we are accidentally exploding, because otherwise, I think the main thing she's actually looking for is anything that would be a spell book or spell scrolls. She wants to take that.
On Otrax's person.
I
There's
take it.
a mini spell book. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is really gross, but I think I want to take Otrax. Otrax's.
Okay.
You already have
We
a bunch
need-
of dead rats. Might as well carry a dead squirrel as well.
This is a little bit more important, but like we need. I think Summer would know enough to know that there are spells that work better with a corpse, like there are like speak with dead and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we might need like evidence, like we just killed their leader basically. And we have like, I think she's very aware of that.
Mhm.
Like this is about to become a huge like murder political coup investigation. So like that, but also I think the strategy is as long as there's no glyphs, take literally everything.
All right. So you're
Take literally
taking
every
all
drop
these
of
documents.
paper, every single note or scrap or like.
So
if he
Eskill
has
swiped
a
the
sword-sized
potions.
footstool and tea set, I want that, like all of it.
Sure. Eskill
Yeah, I was gonna say,
swiping
like,
the potions.
anything there.
Yeah. I'd say Eskill, you sort of swipe the potions and other sort of the alchemical like lab stuff you had there. And Summer, you for the most part gather up like the documents and the other sort of things there as well. So Eskill, later we'll go into the details, but you grab some interesting spell components as a part of that too.
Okay.
Cool. You know, like your incense, like we'll
Yeah.
label that, but there's some interesting stuff there.
I would like to
Yeah, like
try
money.
one other thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Eskill.
Sorry. I guess once Summer's done with this, I want to like walk towards Caden and see if any glowing continues, changes directions, starts
No.
pulsating, anything.
So, once you've grabbed the vial and put it in, you kind of look at your crystal, and the glowing has ceased.
Cool.
But you go over to Caden and you see Lest is perturbed.
Joke's on you. I've been secretly undead this whole time.
I feel like I would have got a sense of that. Just personally. I feel like,
Takes
It's
one to
just
know
like,
one kind of thing.
Eyes are big.
Summer was doing something else.
Oh yeah, Summer, you were wanting to do something.
I was just wondering if there's any like literal like
Literal
spells are
money?
expensive. Yeah.
I would say we'll go back to that with Eskill. Like you guys kind of just swipe stuff. Eskill was
Yeah.
more in the area of the lab where you would have grabbed things like that.
That's fine. Plus, Summer just wants to look at everything once because now she has keen mind.
Though
Big-
both Eskill and Summer looking around, there is that part of the cave that goes deeper in.
Big
yeah,
question
let's go.
out of character.
Yeah.
Can we just put Kate in the bag of holding?
We have thing.
I think you can.
Yeah,
Like, you can
he's
put a
not
dead body
breathing,
in there.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't need to breathe.
Okay, we should put him in a different bag of hold. Okay, that's
I mean,
a really good
we
point.
still have to get the body within the size of the opening.
Mhm.
Y'all
Oh,
gonna
never
have
mind.
No,
to
it doesn't
crunch
just
some
expand.
bones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if
We
this
can-
if this was Eskill we were talking about, I'd say you could fit him into a bag of
Caden's
holding.
pretty
It's just sort of
tall.
a-
He's lanky, but he's pretty
Yeah.
tall.
I mean, how much does Caden
We can-
weigh?
Not too
Not a lot.
much.
You guys
can
are
take-
confident you could carry him.
We can take Caden's like stuff off of him and put it in a bag of holding so that he weighs less.
That would be a good idea.
I'll start doing that.
Okay, Lest, you start shoveling Kane's stuff into the bag.
So, yeah. I actually, Matt,
Yeah?
I don't want to like do anything, but from now on, I should remember I do have disadvantage right now on ability checks because I'm still at a point of exhaustion for.
Gotcha, yeah. From the
that was-
chase earlier, yeah.
Right.
Um,
Anyway, if we could, I mean, does the tunnel leading in, like, I mean, I peek at it, like, I put on my dark vision goggles and I like peek at it. Does it have any
It-
like writing around it or anything?
there is the occasional torchlight down the tunnel, but it goes quite a ways. To a point where it's like it goes down like sort of at an angle, and then it straightens out at the bottom of that angle, so you can't see like the full length of the tunnel.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Can I see Summer doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you in particular are more sort of watching over Caden's body and sort of observing what they're all doing. I'd say, yeah, with your passive perception, you see Summer down this tunnel.
Bless is gonna be like, hey, this is not the time to want to go deeper into a cave, because I feel like with his like forest stuff, he probably knows that a cave goes deeper, like it's probably living quarters and stuff. It would only make sense. Summer, we need to get the heck out of here.
I'm looking with my eyes. It's kind of.
And I'm waiting with my legs. I'd love to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Summer absolutely like folds her arms and like is like she was not planning on going down this tunnel right now, but she will sit here for another 2.5 minutes until he says sorry.
Can I kick Summer in the rump?
You certainly can.
I think we need to get going.
I
I'll try
think
for another
so
time.
too, and I never said we shouldn't.
Okay, let's do it then.
Yes. Loop also kind of goes, yeah, we should go.
All right, I pick up Caden's body.
Cool.
And I don't talk to Les. Fuck
You
off.
guys rushing out. Loop goes, didn't the goat guy said we could return to his little cave thing?
I mean, that seems like the best option, although I think we should be on guard. I don't actually know who we can trust right now.
Escale, with your passive perception. As you guys leave, sort of hidden away in the rock. We'll get back to you, Lesser Crowd. Just as soon as you guys leave the cave, Escale, with your passive perception.
Yes, sir.
Like, sort of hidden away in the rocks a little bit. There's a tree there that wasn't
Outside?
there before. Like, just outside the cave, there's some rocks to the side, and there's just like a random tree, like a small tree.
And does it look like a familiar tree?
It's smaller than a tree you've interacted with before, but it wasn't there before.
Okay.
But it's out of the way. I'm just saying you notice it.
Can I look at it? Does it look like a normal, like... How's the ground around it?
Yeah, sure. You can make an investigation check real quick as you guys leave this cave. And while you roll that, lest you were wanting to do something.
Really good at investigation.
I just wanted to cast fog cloud.
Oh,
4.
around you guys? Got you. 4?
Yeah.
It looks like a tree.
Looks like a tree.
It just wasn't there before. That's it.
That's an interesting tree. And just like stare at it and move on.
All right. So
No reason to do anything else.
you guys, hidden in a cloud of fog, begin to move towards the cave that the goat told you could return to. Why have I forgotten his name, for Pete's sake? Wait. Frickin'
27 years, not 37
Jeb.
years ago?
Jeb, yeah. You guys make your way back into that cave, and on your way there, you hear an ooh of like a wolf sound. And right as you're getting ready to enter the cave, you see maybe 5 wolves you didn't see before, sort of charging down a nearby hill towards you guys. And you see them all simultaneously, like, fall over as if they tripped over something as you guys enter the cave.
Oh my gosh.
You made a friend.
I'm so happy.
That's very cool. My I don't have to use my emergency. We have Otrex as a hostage plan.
But yeah, you guys get into Jeb's cave safely, and you see a single minecart and a single lever. All of you could
I
fit
would
Get
into.
in the cart.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever. That's so good. You guys pull it, and as you are sort of brought up, sort of back up the hill for a little bit, you're kind of impressed that this cart is able to push upward. You notice it seems to have these things that almost like really fast wheels on the side of the tracks that rub up against the cart and like push it forward.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's a slower trek than on the way down. But maybe about a 5-minute thing of just going up this like track relatively slowly. Um,
Okay.
and that moment
Summer
of just
to less.
I
yeah,
think I can. I think I can. I
yeah,
think
with
I can.
Caden's body there, Loop is just
The
sort
Choo
of
Choo
chilling.
Soul song playing in the background.
Yeah. I mean, it's 5 minutes. You guys can do with as you will. I will actually be keeping up with the 5 minutes, just so you know. So as soon as any like RP starts, I'm gonna hit a timer. So.
I
Okay.
want to read Caden's journal right now.
You're just gonna go through Caden's stuff.
Well, Rupert brought Summer's journal.
That is true.
So
Okay.
yes.
Just make a general like investigation check, like, because 5 minutes is gonna be quite enough to like read it, but to try to get like the big bits perhaps out of it.
I
I look
will
at-
say Caden is the kind of person who has an index in the front.
Yes. Also,
Wow. Goals.
I will look at it for long enough to have it memorized for a month because I have keen mind now. But yes, I will do my investigation roll.
Keen mind, man. I'm gonna be
Right.
like Matt Mercer when Liam's always like, I do know which direction. I do know how long it's been. Right? I do. It's
I actually
Yeah,
like.
you're
I
like
actually do
a-
know.
What time it is, please? All right, that's an 18 investigation.
Cool. I guess I'll leave that up to Doctor. What you find in the journal.
Yeah, you find an index. The first thing it probably says, like written in the corner, is "Summer, get out of my journal." I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
He
I
does
like
do.
That's so funny because I've already, like, in my actual journal that I keep for summer, I have already figured out how to write in penumbran, Caden, I know you're reading this.
Yeah.
In her journal.
You both know
I
your
love that.
snoops.
I ignore it and I keep reading it. You're dead. What do you know?
Cool. You find an index and it has, journal logs near the back. You see research notes.
Yes.
Near the front. You see 2 sections of research notes. You see just research notes, and then you see, what's his name? I have to look up the name.
The name.
Name.
The namey name.
Who- bup, 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 bup. You see the name of Caden's, master research. That's what it is. I'm just trying to find it. It's Isaiah.
Is there, if I go, that's disturbingly close to Hosea, but next thing. If I go to wherever that is, can I flip through and find a likeness? Have you sketched him anywhere?
I don't know if Caden would have sketched him.
Or the I know that Summer and Caden talked about your, like, imp friend.
He's not a sketcher of people.
I got you.
He wouldn't have casually sketched them in there.
No, I mean, it was a long shot. It's just a scrying thing.
Yeah, and, all of Isaiah's notes are written in code.
Alright. I remember it. Going to crack it later, so
There's
welcome.
also a section that, there's just a section labeled notes, and there's a whole bunch of shit written in there that's, you can tell it's just him, like, writing notes to himself about theories and things. It's not important before he can organize them.
But is there anything about Summer? Because you know she's looking for her own name.
Oh, sure. Absolutely, there's things about Summer. Not in the note section. But depending on how far you get into Caden's personal journal, you'll probably find a few things. They're probably written in code, just like specifically, like he'll do a language change in the middle of like talking, and he'll start talking about you, and they'll be in code. Because he knows
alright.
you. There's
that's fine,
also
I'll-
at the very back.
Good.
There's some blank pieces of paper, and there's one piece of paper, and in the index it's listed as will and testament.
Oh, great. I do my best to. Well, I mean, I don't do my. I love feats. I love this. I memorize the parts that are in code so that I can decrypt them in my mind as we travel. It'll be like fun road trip games, the fantasy
Yeah.
version of like the license plate game. Let's
Hey
decrypt.
Matt,
Yeah?
I want you to know I've thought very hard about the kind of code Caden uses, and I can go into it now or later, but it's a doozy.
Okay. I almost wonder if that wouldn't be a thing for you to share with because you could almost do like a fun like meta thing where like it's actually Trisha trying to figure out the code also.
Oh fuck.
If you wanted.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really up to you, but
Yeah. I'm gonna say within this 5-minute ride, I don't think Summer is gonna decrypt.
no, yeah, no. This is
No,
mostly
no,
Summer's
I'm
looking
not. I'm
through
going
the
to-
journal right now. Yeah.
Memorize it so that I can decrypt it as I go. It will be like the thing that she does when she like this has just become, you know, when you have a thing that you think about when you're dissociating.
Yeah.
Like you just have like a thing that you do and it's whatever it is in the moment in your like stage of life, you know, it's like one story you're obsessing over or like whatever. Like this just became that thing for her and it's gonna be happening a lot because as of right now we have a 2-day journey ahead of us and she's not talking to Les because he's mad at her. So like she has a lot of time to just ruminate on what languages and figures may or may not have been present in this code.
While Summer is nose deep in this journal on this relatively, at least at the start, quiet
Switch from
cart ride, and the occasional sound of the Lest and Escale, you kind of just have this silence. Caden's body's kind of between you two and Summer, I would say. So there's sort of a space there. Not that you could have like a fully private conversation or anything, but it's just sort of you two in the more front part of this cart. And
Okay,
Luke,
sorry, one second.
of course. And Luke kind of just goes, huh, well, that went better than I thought it would. Or it went better than it could have. I mean, I thought we were gonna get chased down by the bears or whatever.
Yeah, pretty lucky that we have this cart here.
Yeah.
This. You okay?
Adri.
Whoops, I have been on mute this whole time from my thing, and I thought I was not on mute.
Huh?
Okay is a very strong word. I wouldn't use it to describe how I feel right now.
Can you make it out of here?
Oh, yeah. I'll be fine on that front.
Okay.
And as the cart continues to push on up, time continues to pass. Dupe kind of goes, well, I think we're almost at the top now. And Loop is correct. You eventually do, with another last sort of reach the top, and you hear sort of a pulley system bring you up, and you hear, "Welcome back."
Hate that.
You
still
see
singing.
Jeb. He is still singing. How did it go? Oh no! Sees the body.
Jeb, did you know that Otrax was an evil wizard?
Kind of cocks his head to the side and goes, "If I could say it, I would, but I'm cursed to not say anything."
All right, cool. That's what I thought. Well, he's dead now. But so is our friend, and we're kind of hoping that if we get him elsewhere. I mean, I'm kind of hoping, we haven't actually talked about it, but I'm kind of hoping that it's possible that Mitt might actually have a solution for that, because he was, like, really, really powerful. Do you know anything about that?
I've never met Mitt, but I've heard many good things. How about I help you get back much faster than you came?
That
would be very
so
helpful.
Great, because also we are being pursued, probably by a lot of very dangerous
How did
predators.
my horns assist? The ones I gave you in case of a sticky situation.
Oh, fuck.
Well, we didn't use them because we were afraid of what they did, because you wouldn't tell us what it was. What did they do?
Save them for another time.
Okay.
Well, everything's fine. It's fine.
We can just wake Caden up, and when he levels up, he can just cast Identify.
He with his hooves clicks some like sort of petals almost he has on the ground in his like shack here. And you hear the roof like sort of as the roof opens up. And coming down from the roof is like a little four-seater bench that just sort of comes down.
Oh boy.
Take a seat. Buckle yourself up.
I buckle Caden in.
Buckled.
Buckle.
Loop just wraps around you last.
I'll hold him.
Okay, cool. He goes off to Critterton with you, and he kind of puts both his hooves on this big lever that like showed up when this thing came down, and it like clicks, and all of a sudden that feeling when you go up really quickly, like your stomach like
Ooh.
goes down, like go up, and as you look up, there's like essentially a big like balloon, like a like a quilt that has now been filled like a balloon that's above you. And you are just very high up in the air.
Are we just in a hot air balloon?
And
a
then
hot coat balloon.
while you're up there, you see sort of at the base of the balloon above you are like two smaller looking fans that begin to like spin, and the balloon begins to move forward towards Gritterton.
I am starting to think that Jeb is like a very, very, very powerful artificer.
And this is another sort of slow trip. Much faster than walking over would have been. Should have been 2 days. Here you're looking at about the amount of time it would take to have a long rest, which, it being extremely late at night,
Might be a good idea.
if not the morning, you could certainly take a long rest here. It might not be good for your back to sleep while sitting, but
Also, like,
I am
at
100%
least- here's
taking
the
a long
deal.
rest.
At least one of us, probably Summer. Like, here's how I imagine that this happened, and you guys can correct me. I would imagine that Summer put Caden between her and, like, probably Lest. At least two of us would be sleeping beside a dead body, like a recently dead body.
I just get to watch it all. Great.
I mean, I always think of Eskiel with this right now, because, like, I don't know. Recently dead body.
I would like to. I mean, it's 8 hours.
Mhm.
No, I don't want to do anything. Summer's a way more stubborn bitch than I am. I go to sleep.
Yeah. Anyone else want to do
Maybe-
anything right
Maybe
before
I
they...
read Caden's journal more.
Sure.
But then I go to sleep.
Lest and Eskiel, you have anything you want to do before you perhaps take a long rest?
Lest is like scribbling in his own journal.
Good. What about you, Eskiel?
I'm just looking through my book of shadows. Just
Oh, just to see what comes up.
watching things.
Hey,
Yeah.
Summer, you ever read that last will and testament?
No. No, I don't think she would. I know you worked really hard on it, but I think the same instinct that's making her not try to make up with Lest is like, nah, Caden's not dead. No, she thinks that, but then she realizes that if they do bring Caden back, she'll have lost her chance. So she does read it, yeah.
Um,
My
s-
best chance to figure out what's really up with Caden. Are you kidding?
well,
Yeah.
is this a thing that you've sent,
No.
Summer, or is this a
I
thing that
haven't
should
sent
be?
it to anyone, but it's written down.
All right.
Let's-
Well,
you wanna
in
send it?
Caden's voice, shall you read it?
Ooh.
Yeah, because I would send it to you, Trisha, but I wrote it like, a half an hour ago, so it's
Mhm.
probably riddled with grammar mistakes and misspellings.
I think it would be better to have Caden, like in the TV shows when it goes to their voice.
It's a voice. We're flying
Yeah.
in a hot air balloon, and the voiceover begins as
Yeah.
I look at his corpse and argue with him as it goes. Of like, yeah, you're not, you're not really
Lester's
dead yet
journaling,
until
and
we give
Escale
up.
is looking at the Book of Shadows, which we will get to see if there's anything unique you read up in there.
Cool.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, but go ahead and read your will.
So it says, at the top of the page, it says to my friends, and then right underneath that it says, Summer, do not read this unless I'm dead. If you are reading this, it means one of two things. Either
Yeah.
I have passed on to the outer planes, never to return, or someone decided to read this anyways. I imagine if I am gone, it probably came about unexpectedly, and I didn't get the chance to properly say goodbye. As I sit here preparing for tomorrow's confrontation, I can't help but acknowledge the awkwardness I feel at writing this document. I have helped so many of my patients write similar letters, but now, to be creating one for myself is strange, to say the least. But I digress. I, Dr. Caden Luca Foucher, being... Haha!
Sorry.
Fuck you! Being of competent and sound mind, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament, and do hereby revoke any and all wills that... I can't read this for real,
Mhm.
but it's the will and testament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
thing that
Keep
everyone
going.
testament has, yeah.
To Escale. I leave my magical equipment, my spells, my wands, my inks, and paper, for you are not a wizard at the moment, but shall you wish to pursue that path, I hope the tools I gathered will help you. I would also like to leave you with the credentials should you ever need them when running into another wizard. Should they ask who you studied under, you may say that I was your teacher. Not that you need it, but hopefully it may provide you some credit. What is your last name? Summer and Les, because I tried to write it and I
Rosa
forgot.
King.
Rosa Keen.
Rosa Keen. Cool.
Or maybe
Alright, Rosa Queef. Okay, got it.
Oh,
I knew it was
Upgrades,
Rose
people.
and something.
I think there has been debate on Rosa Keen or Rosa Quinn, but
To
I kind of like Rosa Keen Eatery. I don't know.
I like the Rosa Quinn eatery.
Rosa Quinn, yeah. Or, yeah, Rosa Quinn. It's one of those.
To Lester Rosa Keen. I leave my herbalism kit, my healer's kit, and my medical mask. I hope you may be able to use these tools to help others. You have a kind soul that naturally rejuvenates those around you. Please never lose track of that. I also leave you my ring of protection. Hopefully it will keep you safer than I ever did. Lastly, I leave you the talking stick. I think you need to be listened to. Fucking... this is partially incomplete, so be prepared for some improv.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Character, relationship, objective, and where, and
Yeah,
you got it.
just do your basics.
Fuck y'all.
We made Tegan and I made a fun anyway. It's fine.
Continue with the will.
To Summer Rosakeen, I leave my manacles, my dagger, my healing potion, my journal for safekeeping. I must clarify my intentions, however. I give you this book willingly, but not the knowledge it contains. I cannot
Oops.
stop you from chasing it. I cannot stop you from chasing it, No, there is a reason it is written in code. It's only because of my strong objection to destroying knowledge that those papers are not turned to ash. It's probably at this point in the note where you see some notes about, you know, Caden talking about, like, how do I say goodbye at this point? Because this is the end.
Mhm.
And he talks about, you know, how he believes that dead people, we don't do things for the dead, we do things for the living, and dead people are there to give you gifts.
A lot of existential dead stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if it actually contains any sort of hint, like, I don't know if Matt, would Summer know that there is a part of a raise dead process that involves sort of persuading them to come back?
Make a
Persuading them.
make a choice of Arcana or religion, I'd say.
Okay, well, I'm much better at one of those than the other. Dunk.
Dunk.
23! I don't know where I picked up Dunk. I have no new social influences. I have no idea where I picked up Dunk. Anyway, 23!
It's from Justin McElroy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
23?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in general, most spells entail the consent of the spirit to come back. And so what is often done in these rituals is a sort of like, hey, we'd like you to come back for this reason, is to try to persuade them, right, to consent to coming back. But also, since the dawn of the new age, the gods acquiring more power that they once had, Anubis, the god of death, does have a bit more domain than he did before.
Okay.
So it is customary.
So you also have to kind of persuade him?
It's customary among clerics to do that. There are some who still don't and still manage to bring people back, but like it's like the thing to do. And it is sometimes Anubis will just be like, nah, this isn't a reason to bring someone back.
They died. Nah.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes Anubis is like, no, they died. Like, this is it.
They didn't die prematurely, they didn't die whatever, they just kind of died, and that happens sometimes, sorry.
Yeah, or they died an honorable death or a death they would have liked. Yeah, sometimes Anubis is like, no, this is good. This is how it should be.
I will say, in the last paragraph, it will talk a little bit, and Caden will essentially be asking, he probably says something like, you don't have to take up this mantle, but if I could offer another gift, if you ever get the chance to help those in Remarut, please do. And that's like the one other thing in there.
I was just gonna mention that if Caden's actually going on about his philosophy about death, Summer probably does like take note of that if she knows that there is a potential thing where she's gonna have to like make a case, right? But the truth is her case is going to be you just released maybe one of the most reckless researchers ever onto this thing that you wish was reduced to ash. Are you sure you want to leave me unsupervised?
Fair point.
Like, that's the main point. But also the existential stuff. She probably does, like, I mean, she cares. Like...
Fair enough. All right. So with the will read, the Book of Shadows. Believe it or not, Joss, I have indeed made a system for this. So what I need for you to do is roll the D100. Tell me what you get, and I'll tell you what you read about.
Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay. I totally know how to do this. D20, D20, D100. There we go. Roll. That would be an 83, good sir.
In 83?
Yeah.
You open up to a page, and you just sort of begin reading, like whatever.
What language is it in?
As you begin to read it, it is sorry, I'm actually checking what languages you know as well. Just to make sure.
Common, undercommon, Vidalcan, Elvish, common,
Primordial. Yeah.
primordial, yeah.
It's actually written in Elvish, funnily enough.
Okay.
And this particular section is discussing it's usually discussing some sort of like crazy powerful weapons. This particular section you're reading, and
Oh.
the particular weapon you're reading about is it describes maybe because I'm lacking creativity, I'll just reference something that already exists. I already have a bit of lore on. It references a gem, very large kind of gem that was implemented during the Great Wars of old by the Xandarian Empire, a bunch of lore stuff that, when dropped onto a battlefield and activated, would, in a very wide radius, take all the souls of those in that radius and suck them into the gem, eradicating whole armies in one fell swoop.
Oh.
And it's discussing how finding a crystal of the necessary like size of a crystal to do this is very difficult because it needs to be a certain quality, and most of the crystals that have been found, that could have been found, have already been found, right? Like, and used. But it writes on saying, with my interest in crystals and such, I do indeed hope to one day find a crystal of this size, if nothing else, to have a fun weapon at my disposal. That's what the book says.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah. I have like for each like 10, it's like a certain, not like a specific like this is what you read, but like like a table of contents, right? Like I have the part you read in. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could at some point you send me that again? I will try to write down what I remember, but
Sure.
unfortunately I was not sitting down at the moment you started. So.
No worries. Can certainly do that at some point.
And very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And eventually, people reading books or sketching and all that sort of thing, the balloon loses more and more of its air until you softly land just outside Critterton. It is been long enough for y'all to have a long rest, which means it is now the 19th
The 19th.
of the rain moon.
Alrighty.
Can I say that I also ate some rations so I can get rid of that point of exhaustion?
I think a long rest gets rid of the point of exhaustion. Yeah.
Okay. My D&D Beyond gave me a little notice that said you have to have food and drink to get rid of the exhaustion, and I was like, well.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a tankard of coffee, and coffee is a good substitute for all 5 food groups, as we all know.
You're good. I don't usually
vodka.
keep too extreme of a check on rations and stuff. It's one of the things one could say I'm lacking in terms of my DM whatever. Like I don't really keep track of rations.
Or you could say that keeping
It's
track.
a bonus.
Yeah, or you could say that keeping track of rations dedicatedly in a campaign slows it so far down, and it is the most annoying thing in the world. Anyway, it is something I have experienced.
It depends on it. Like, hypothetically, let's say you guys went to the Dark Continent, it would kind of become a hardcore survival thing, and then I would probably be keeping track of them. Yeah. But, like, for what we're doing here, it doesn't really matter. Cool. You arrive. It's daytime.
Is it just, like, Critterton approximately where we arrived
Yeah.
before? Or...
Yeah, you're, like, just outside Critterton. And as you land, there are already some critters who have gathered.
All right.
Some capybara, some horses even.
All right, who wants to take this?
And one of the horses goes, "You've returned. That's surprising. And did you manage to defeat Borak?" says the horse.
Yes, but there's more. We need to talk to
Mitt.
Mitt and... Well, to Mitt first. somewhat quickly. Do you know where he is?
The horse kind of nods and says, come this way. And he sort of trots, and then one of the capybaras goes, Borak is dead! And then you hear a bunch of birds and such,
Summer-
like, playing music
Summer
again.
takes over the job of carrying Caden's body again, but before she does, just like completely wordlessly, she's going to hand Les the talking stick.
Ooh, okay. The talking stick trademark.
Les will take it. I think he's confused for a hot second.
She is not in the mood to explain the symbolism of the nice thing she is trying to do. So you're gonna have to figure that one out.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
Oh, and she is like shotgunning coffee.
This was let's just receive the talking stick. As you guys follow the horse, got an idea what Summer did, what Les doing. Eskiel, you doing anything in particular whilst you're following the horse? Or you just following the horse?
I'm following the horse and I guess on guard or like ready to engage in anybody who wants to approach and talk.
Okay.
I'm on people duty.
A rabbit hops up to you, like a young-looking rabbit, and goes like, "Hey, I heard Borak's dead."
Indeed, little one. Wait, what is that? Indeed, little one. We have vanquished him.
And the rabbit seems very happy. Goes, "I don't have to worry about being eaten anymore." And he hops away.
I'm very glad to hear that.
You're eventually brought to and Mitt says, "Why, hello, gosh, Kermit the, hello there. Nice to see you all come back. Sorry, but Otrax is not here he's off doing whatever he does." And then he sees Caden,
Talk about.
and he goes, "I see you've lost a friend."
We need to talk.
Kind of looks at you
Wait.
guys and goes,
I'm
"About
thinking pirates.
we want to be in private."
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he sort of cues you guys in to follow him. You follow him just a little ways, sort of down a hill, like a smaller hill. And you come to just this like place where water has pooled, like a mini pond. And he kind of like
Okay.
sits down in it. And he goes, "We'll be good here. Let me, while we discuss, I assume you want me to attempt to bring your friend back?"
That would be.
Actually. What?
Actually?
Well, I was just going to say that I don't want to be. We're about to deliver some pretty world-shaking sort of news, and we don't know how deep it all goes. If this is okay with you guys, just gonna offer to contribute to the cost, if you were willing to try.
The cost, of what it would be.
There is a cost, right, to raise dead?
There certainly is.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm
know
not crazy. I don't think we have
They
a
also
lot.
have a mine, remember?
I know that, but I'm not sure Summer is like exactly at her best right now.
She's desperate.
Mitt
Well, yeah,
sort of
she's
begins to his larger frog body's like pushing some of the mud with his back feet in this pond. And as he pushes some of it back, you see little glints as if he keeps gems in the mud of this pond.
Oh,
He's sort of
my.
grabbing it.
We're so.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Wow.
And
yes,
he grabs a few. And he goes, "Oh, no worries. You guys killed Borak, yes?"
Yes, we did, but
Then you are heroes to us. And heroes deserve a
will-
bit of generosity.
I propose we take care of this dead business first, and then move on to other business.
do I know how long Raise Dead takes?
You do not.
All right.
Mitt goes, well, it'll take about an hour for me to do this, so
I feel like having a dead person is a bit of a pressing matter.
I would agree,
Yes.
says Mitt.
So is honestly potentially a faction of predators that might not actually have stood down when their leader was killed.
And I think that would be something that Dr. Kaden would like to be involved with.
That's actually probably true. All right. Yeah, I mean, if he's like motioning a place to like put Caden, like
He's
I put
actually
him there.
motioning into the pond.
Oh, okay. Then I
Drown
take
him.
off. I take off Caden's like hat and cloak so they don't get muddy,
As you take off
You're
some of his
welcome.
stuff,
and make sure like his spell book's not in the water, and yeah, I do my duty.
he
My
leads you to
scholarly
guide
duty. Yeah, thank you.
Caden into the pond till he's kind of floating for a bit. And then Mitt goes, hey, if you could push the doctor down further into the water.
Okay.
I got
sure.
this.
Eskel, you kind of lightly push down, and now you can still see Caden's shape in this sort of muddy, brackish pool at the bottom of this hill here, but he is now submerged. And,
Do I hold him down?
no, you don't
does
have
he
to
stay
hold him down. He'll stay down.
Okay.
The mud almost like seems to grab a hold of him.
Yeah, that's not freaky.
And Mitt sort of hops, like, Caden's submerged, but like not so much. Like, Mitt's almost like on the doctor's chest, like, but like still out of the water a
Yeah,
bit.
we got it.
Yeah. And he sort of goes, well, it will take an hour, but it's an hour of heavy ritual.
Do you need help or?
I will need help, I think, on two fronts. I will need help from you, Lest.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least I think your help would be helpful. And then when it comes time to persuade, I will need help from all of you to persuade your friend to come back, if he so wishes.
Yeah.
And he kind of closes his eyes as he sort of lays these gems sort of he sort of carefully places them like on different parts of the doctor's body as he's sort of mumbling to himself, and you think you hear the word Anubis time to time. You gather this is the beginning of his plea to Anubis to allow this to, if all else works, right, for Anubis to okay this.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he clears his frog throat in this ritual, and he looks over at you, Lest, and goes, now normally I do this part on my own, but as a cleric of the Season Caller, I also in a way ritually call out to her. But seeing how you have an interest in such things, I thought it might be advantageous to have you participate as well.
Yeah, I can do that.
If you don't mind getting a little muddy.
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Kind of has you come deeper into the pool as well. He says, place your hand on the doctor's chest.
Yeah, he does that.
Now, I will call out, and then you will call out to the Season Caller. And simply ask her, well, whatever comes from the heart, I suppose. I have what I usually say. And don't worry too much. She is a very forgiving person for awkwardness. And
Glad.
Mitt sort of clears his froggy throat. He goes, Season Caller, I feel as if you would understand that the season of winter is not yet ready for this one. There is still a long summer to be had. I call upon you, as I have a few times before. Bring back these heroes who have changed the season of our people to a warmer one. And then he looks over at you, Lest.
Oh, fuck, this is gonna be so awkward. Season caller, I've never done this before, but I'm hoping that you can bring my friend back. He doesn't seem like the type that would want his adventure to end. And I think it'd be good for him to figure out stuff that's happened in his life before he's gone. So that he can move on in a more peaceful manner.
Mitt sort of does a ribbit to that.
Cool.
And
An amen.
yeah, amen. Yeah, amen, but it's ribbit. That's amazing, actually. And he then turns to all of you, says, "No need to place hands on Caden for this, but now we call upon him. It is best not to get bogged down in... Spirits are not people in the sense that they're going to get the emotion of what you say more than the words themselves. And he sort of looks at you all and goes, since lust went first last time, perhaps we will let lust go last this time. Summer, if you would like to give the first persuasion, and this is over a period of an hour, so we're approaching
Now,
like the end of this hour.
This is a weird question, Matt, but this has taken an hour, right?
Yeah.
I would like to look at that code in that hour.
Okay, you continue to look at it.
Like,
Um,
I want to see how close she can get, because I want to be able to truthfully, if she can make even the slightest breakthrough, if she even realizes, like, one of the languages involved, or, like, the fact that there's a number cipher, or, like, the idea that there might be a shape cipher, like...
This goes back to the thing. So you just want to be able to know what kind of cipher it is, maybe?
Here's what I'm building up to.
Mm-hmm.
I want, because this is an emotional thing, I want to be able to give the sincere emotion to Caden that I am already making progress on this code to kind of back up the threat of. Are you sure you want to leave me unsupervised with this knowledge that I think she might even like if he gets the emotion more than the words, I think she's gonna speak in Penumbran when she actually delivers it, just so that she can have that going for her. But I'm just wondering if there's, like, that's what I mean, like, literally any progress at all that could give her, like, false or otherwise, like, sense of, like, oh yeah, I can crack this.
I guess make an investigation check.
Alright, don't fail me now.
And I'll let
Don't
the
fail me
doctor
now.
decide what that roll means.
Good bone dice.
'Cause I don't know what the ciphers are for this, so.
Dirty 20.
Cool. Doctor, what do you think? Or Tegan, I suppose, more so.
Well, you definitely get that Caden switches languages a lot. And you'll probably get, based on those languages, you'll see when he's talking about something, he'll start switching subject matter
Okay.
in the middle of his sentence.
Gotcha. So
yeah.
there's both a language switching and an actual scramble going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So definitely, probably, if we're like a comprehend language, if Caden doesn't come back, a comprehend languages item would be very useful in helping decrypt those. Okay. Yeah, that's enough. I mean, do you want me to roll something to say that Summer has the potentially unearned confidence?
I think that's up to you. What level of confidence you have in this at this point.
Yeah, she says,
She says, hey, Dr. Caden Luca Foucher. Thanks for
Nice. Good start.
Thanks for your stuff. I took Rupert's bow tie and have saved it for him for when he comes back. You know how he loves that. You're a good friend and I want you back. But for real though, and then in Penumbran, you just set one of the most reckless researchers of an age, descended from a researcher who was expelled for being reckless, who, I'll just let you know, has the merciless drive of the Yellow Man himself inside of her, onto knowledge that you say you want burned into ash. And I've already made some significant progress, so if you're still sure you want to leave me unsupervised, whatever, but if I were you, I'd hurry your butt on back.
Okay. And with
That's it.
that, we now go to Escale to give his persuasive little thing for the doctor to come back. Why does Escale want Caden back, or why does, that kind of deal?
Well, first off, if you do not come back, you do leave me to be the wizard of the party. I do not think I'm ready for that responsibility. You are not good at taking care of yourself. Yet you wanted to take care of me. I don't think that I really showed you quite the same kindness. But I have many questions. And I think that you'd be interested with the answers to many of them. You won't get them unless you come back.
I like that. And now, with another ribbit, amen. It is Lest now.
Hi, Doctor. I really think you should come back because Summer's already looking at your journal, and I don't know how to feel about that one.
Tell her.
Only in certain cases.
Oh, come on, all the time! I'm bitter about things that haven't happened to me in real life. You fold at the whisper of pressure.
We only just started, adventuring together, and I don't want that to end so quickly. And with what happened, I don't think it right, honestly. And I want to keep adventuring with you guys. And I don't think it could be the same without you.
All right. Another ribbit, amen. Before we get to Caden's response, Caden,
Yeah, what
as
up?
you felt the life leave you, and you heard your teacher apologize as the life left you, but quite a few hours ago in the material plane, you find yourself in this sort of large white space. And as you're here for a moment, in almost a haze, a foggy haze, you see the familiar image of your teacher. Isaiah, his name, right? Tegan? Isaiah's his name, right?
Yep.
Yep. And he, sort of looks at you and says, I'm sorry I left. I didn't intend to leave.
think anyone ever does.
And he kind of looks around for a second and goes, to be honest with you, I'm not gone in the sense that you are right now.
Oh?
And you see him kind of become foggy again for a moment. I was called here to guide you to the outer planes, but I myself am not fully dead. I guess it's customary that someone you knew in life guides you from this in-between place there, but I will only be able to guide you part way.
If you're not fully dead, where are you?
Well, you see, when things went bad, I ended up in the place I wanted to be, just unexpectedly. I indeed found myself on the Dark Continent.
And now?
I encountered an entity on the continent. From what I gather, this entity has the ability to almost like he's placed me in a condition of being kind of stuck between the living and the dead. So my soul is not able to return to my body, nor is it able to go on. So I'm stuck here in the place between.
Dream?
Don't think it's a dream, no. Most certainly not. I believe this entity's name is Baoruk. That's Baoruk. It looked like a mix of like a crocodile and an anglerfish. It was a very gruesome entity.
Colleagues. He says that and he has quotes, air quotes.
Mhm.
Oh, colleagues, did they follow you? Or are they still working?
The other colleagues who were in that explosion or whatever? Or?
No, they weren't in the explosion. They were the researchers who he was trying to keep information from.
Oh. Oh, I don't think they know anything about the situation I found myself in. This place is much dangerous than I think the books about it gave it credit for. I mean, the simplest plant, the simplest insect could hold apocalyptic qualities to it. I mean, very world-changing stuff too, which is why people come here. You know, what spells for good could you find here, you know, or everything's just on a whole nother scale.
What am I to do with this information?
I simply hope that it might give you some peace of mind. Perhaps just knowing what did become of me. I do not have any inclination of you saving me. But I will not stop you either, I suppose. But what I will say is, if you could, return to Remarut. I've discovered something, I think. It is very likely that whatever has befallen Remarut is not a fog, but perhaps an entity, similar to the one I've encountered here. That is producing the mist. presume it could be killed. So I guess I came here to guide you to the outer planes, but also to... I don't know why I even told you all this, because you're dead. Like, you can do a whole lot about it, I suppose. But I give you hope that somebody down the line could potentially kill this entity and save our town.
Well, we do not do things for the dead, we do them for the living.
Kind of nods. He goes, well, there's no living here. Just two dead people. Well, half dead, I suppose, in my case. And he kind of
interesting.
reaches out a hand in a direction, as if to beckon you to follow him. And as you walk with him for a time, slowly, your soul begins to feel restful, tranquil. He says, at the moment you seem to have been granted passage to Elysium, the tranquil fields. A place for those long overdue for rest.
I mean, some folks I'd like to visit if I go.
Yeah. Say hi
Oh,
for
wow.
me, if you can.
Will do.
And he, as this tranquil feeling gets greater and greater, and he goes, and you should be free of the symptoms once you're there as well. And right as you feel you're about to enter this plane, you begin to hear the calls from your party members, your recent compatriots. Summers, Escales, Lest. And all of a sudden there's a pause in this place between life and death. He turns to you and goes, teacher, your former teacher turns to you and goes, I take it back. It's no longer a one direction. You have a choice now. You could choose to go to Elysium now, or you could choose to go back and to, the adventure that is living, I suppose. You've been given this choice.
Well, aren't they full of surprises?
Seems you have good friends.
I think... probably best to leave the door open, yes? There's not many pathways if I go forward. If I go back, there's plenty of ways this could go.
I suppose so. He kind of looks you up and
I
down
have
and goes,
things I need to do still, I guess.
sounds good. And you see him sort of turn to fog and disappear. As you've made the choice internally, all of a sudden you feel yourself, and you come up like out, and you see all of you see the doctor come up from this muddy pool, like sit up in the muddy pool, just like coughing. The doctor is alive once more. And with that, we're gonna take a break.
Cool.
But we are now at, in the recording this time. So, Caden shoots up out of the murky pond. And, with a peculiar white streak in his hair now. That wasn't there before.
Ooh, for aesthetic.
Very dope.
And, Mitt kind of go, oh, that doesn't usually happen.
The
Stressed.
white?
Well, you know, sometimes being raised from the dead can be weird. Also, you're gonna, like, feel horrible for a bit.
Caden's just coughing.
He's just like.
Like,
I mean, Summer rushes over and like pats his back and does the whole thing when somebody's coughing.
and Mick goes, like, I mean, you're gonna feel really bad for a while. Like, I mean bad.
Is normal.
You have, like, a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Every time you finish a long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1. So, you just have a really bad penalty
Rad.
for a bit.
Hey, you came back.
What's going on? Where are we?
Mick goes, you're among the living. You're in Critterton. Well, in my pond in Critterton.
We haven't had the chance to talk about sort of any of the Otrax related revelations, but we thought you'd want to be a part of it.
Fucking
Indeed.
furry little bastard.
Mick goes, what about Otrax?
Yes, well, one moment, please. I would like to, if Caden is done coughing, what date is it again?
It is the 19th.
It's the 19th of it. Okay. I would like to, I like pat Caden on the back, and I say, so the way I see it, you have another birthday, which is good because I was saving this for your birthday present, and I give him the bottomless tankard of coffee.
What is this?
Happy on Death Day.
Huh? What's in here?
A coffee.
You're a treasure, you know that?
Yeah, I do. And it's really nice of you to have left us all your stuff.
Yes,
I mean, we can loan it back, you know, if you want.
Don't
you know,
start.
for a fee.
I specifically wrote
No,
in my
no,
last
it's
will
so-
and
it's so
testament that
funny.
if I were revived from the dead, all my
I
items
didn't-
came back to
I
me.
didn't see that when I was reading it as the only person to have read it, and I might have lost it somewhere.
I will say...
Yeah, don't die next time, coward. And I give you your journal back, and I say, oh, and by the way, picked up a new skill. Super have photographic memory and can remember everything. Also did copy down, like, the best bits.
Eskill and
I'm
West,
sure.
how are you guys reacting to Caden being back?
Welcome back. Sorry, didn't mean to ruin the moment. Is it normal to feel horrible after coming back to life?
Mitt goes, oh, well, depends on the spell. It's done. Raised Dead is particularly just rough on the body.
Fuck, I was dead.
Right.
Yes?
Oh no, yeah, you were gone. You were a corpse for many hours.
Fuck. Shit.
There's a
man,
lot
I just
of
thought
reading
I had
done.
a weird dream.
You had a dream?
I mean, I had a weird experience. Death is strange.
Mick
I've
goes-
never experienced it.
Yes, you were probably in the space between. If not, already in wherever you were gonna go.
Nope. First one, definitely.
What, King's Cross?
No,
I
the
hate-
space... Wait, there's an actual name in the lore for it that I have, wait. It is inspired off that, very much so, but... I'll look into it, but it doesn't really matter. Lest, how do you react to Caden being back? Lest?
Adri, if you're talking, you might be muted because we can't hear you.
You might be muted. Oh. Alright, we will come back to that then, I suppose.
I saw the symbol there. The
symbol
or
there?
maybe many to leave and read on.
Oh, okay. Real quick then, for those interested, this particular place is known as, oh, that's a really boring name. Have the void and the light. What does that mean? The place I'll go when they die and where the living and the dead can speak. That's kind of a boring name. I'll come up with a different one later. Because, like, the void and the light, there's the infinite staircase. There's, like, the river Styx. Different places that are kind of in betweeny places.
I think a great official name for them is the in-betweeny places.
Yeah.
In between.
That's my vote.
Yeah. But,
I like it because it has weenie
hello.
in it.
Lest, how do you react to Caden's return?
Oh, he's super surprised. He like takes his hand back.
Yeah, I mean, this dead body just got up.
I think he hugs him too.
As
Like,
you hug him,
my hand-
Loop goes from your shoulder to the doctor's shoulder and, like, gives his head a hug.
Caden definitely hugs back and goes, I'm alright, just a little sore, don't worry, I'll be fine.
I thought you were gonna pull a Monty Python there real quick.
Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Caden goes, for the record, I'd like everyone to know, and he just pulls out some green goop and goes,
Oh gosh.
this is the proof of my will and testament, in case anybody believes someone's bullshit.
What are you talking about?
Les would never believe my bullshit.
Well, I mean, you didn't say anything anyway, so.
Well,
I
actually,
just
I mean,
flick
think
it
while-
at SKL so he can mind goop.
I think while you were drinking, that was what we roleplayed, was Summer pretending that the will said different things than it did.
Yeah.
But, Eskil, you received the goop.
You
Is that
talk
just,
about
like,
the
what the will
will
and
and
testament
testament?
is?
I didn't think that you talked about it at all, Summer. Or that Summer did.
Say anything about it.
Yeah. Weird.
No, I mean, didn't we just do that as... Alright, I'm going absolutely crazy. I thought we literally just were joking about that in character, like,
Mentioned
5
in
seconds ago.
character, you just mentioned in character that all my stuff is now
Oh,
on
yes,
loan
it's now
because I
on loan.
gifted it.
Yeah.
But no, not specifically what the will and testament is. But Eskil, you don't know.
No,
what
not
the will and
what it
testament
said
is.
specifically, but
Les probably
Okay.
looks at the talking stick a little bit more fondly now.
I really wish you would stop rubbing that on me. That is disgusting.
Can we use that for the other thing too? Because we haven't talked about that either.
actually,
Yes, get out of the muddy lake, please. It's cold.
But it's like the spring months. It's pretty warm.
it's
He's
well.
not wrong. It's actually kind of nice.
I
Yeah.
think I'm still having some backup nerve firing
I
of
saved-
my last death.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
saved
right.
I saved your hat and cloak over there,
You were
and
blasted
Rupert's
with
bow
it.
tie in your spell book. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Les just looks unbothered by the mud.
Oh, and as you guys leave the pondish area, or get out of the pond itself, Bit sort of looks at you, last, and goes, "By the way, I was told, in large part, bringing back Caden was because of you." Kind of whispering to you.
Me?
Yes, I suppose you being a descendant of an angel of the season color is a helpful thing.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm
Okay.
very into character. We have to establish what I overhear.
You don't overhear this conversation. It's a
All right,
Mitt
cool.
and less conversation. Yeah.
This is a Mitt and Les only
Full
conversation.
zone. He is a
No
frog. He's
humans
very good
allowed.
at talking quietly.
You do hear the ribbit afterward, but that's it.
Racist.
Hey, I was gonna ask Mitt.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey Mitt, can we like talk later after all this if you still want to?
Yeah, sure. I've
Cool.
already spent a lot of gold on you guys. Might as well get my money's worth. So he does a ribbit.
Les feels so bad.
As you guys get a little ways from the pond, but are still in like a private place, Mitt goes, "So what about this other thing you wanted to talk to me about?"
Would you like me to just...
You know, Mitt,
God, there's
Yes,
I think
Eskil?
Hayden might be the best to deal with this.
this Lord of the
It's
Rings,
just-
this Hobbit music is
It's
killing
kind
me
of
right now.
empty, but it's quite effective.
Well, I will take memory goop then.
I just pull out some memory goop,
I back up.
and it's got all the events of our fight and finding out about Otrax and all that.
As you give it to him, there's sort of this moment where he goes, "This is a bit. I love this music, but it's a bit too epic for this moment right now."
I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs from the OST.
The Hobbit soundtrack has to be one of my like favorite instrumental. Just like
Go back.
It's
I love it.
amazing.
anyway, sorry.
No worries, no worries. Mitt sort of pauses for a moment. He goes, "It does cut out at a certain point. I presume the rest of you all took care of the rest of the business."
Well, yeah, actually, I mean, mostly less. I mean, Lest and Escale were. I mean, Escale helped. Lest saved everybody, realistically. I mean, I think I actually shot Borak the last, but it was not.
It seemed it was a Mitt kind of pause. Seems it was a team effort. First evading, being chased, and then and Mitt kind of paused for a minute. And goes, "Ribbit." And he goes, "Well,
I mean,
I can't say I am surprised, and this is going to be a shock to everyone, but it does make sense, I suppose."
actually, we were thinking you were the best person to tell first because it seemed like maybe you already had a suspicion.
Oh, well, sure. Otrax is a wizard. Wizards can be a little, gray sometimes.
Hey.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Looks at my gray and red costume.
And Amit goes,
It is all gray with red highlights.
That's what I love about it. Just sort of goes, but, I didn't realize he had gone so far. Did you gather any notes or anything on his person?
Caden
Oh.
just looks.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yes, all of it. Oh, by the way, and I just hand Caden the spell book. It's small, but it's there. And then like, I mean, it's a bag of holding. I always imagine they're like kind of difficult to get everything out. I think she just dumps, like literally like shakes her bag of holding until everything comes out. He mentioned knowing the secrets of this place, and that seemed incredibly important. Also, like, here's the thing, I don't actually know, we weren't able to figure out yet what the relationship was between Otrax and Borak and I mean all of it, so like I don't know if how big their numbers are, if they're going to continue what they were doing or what, but
Now that it's all added
I
up,
mean,
I feel like Otrax is likely a big part of it. The leader. There aren't others here like Otrax. There aren't a lot of, wizards at his level in these lands.
I have a suspicion he was doing this to lure
You're cutting out a bit there, my friend.
adventurers in and take their things.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I have a suspicion he was doing it to lure.
Lore.
Matt?
Oh, you okay?
Matt.
Lure adventurers in.
Am I cutting out now?
Yes.
Oh dear.
No, I
Oh,
think
I think
so. I think
you
can't
said,
hear people.
and I was like,
All right. We'll get
I
back.
think also. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think also maybe just like general ambition. I mean, it looked like he was at least roughly trying to figure out the secrets of this place, and I mean, certainly it can't have been easy. Someone with that power being essentially trapped here, especially, you know, we've mentioned people sort of giving you guys rules and then just never checking up again. But also, I found on brief examination references to some, well, just some very, very dark, sort of ambitious forces.
Well, if you have the documents, we should look through them.
Oh
maybe.
yeah. No, they're sprawled.
Okay.
At this point, Summer is like roughly organizing them after they've been dumped everywhere.
Now, with more
Like-
time to look at them, and all of you sort of sitting down with all the papers sprawled about and reading these tiny text, you all put together, it's a sort of team effort, along with Mitt, this series of exposition I'm about to throw on you.
Nice.
Fuck yes. Give me that
you know,
shit.
just info that originally I had in my mind that Otrax would, like, you know, say and some sort of,
Monologue
like,
or-
yeah,
yeah.
kind of monologue kind of thing. Yeah. But you gather, firstly, you learn what is happening here in this land. Apparently, a while back, on one of the expeditions that had been known, because there's been a few expeditions run by countries, by very wealthy nobles, etc., to try to get to the Dark Continent throughout history. One of these went, only a few survived, and when they came back, they had to bring something with them. In this case, they brought back a symbiotic parasite.
Huh.
That latches onto non-sentient creatures and takes a bit of the nutrition from them, but not so much that it would be noticeable to the person with it or the animal with it. And in return, siphons a lot of sort of the spiritual energy, or siphons a lot of spiritual energy into them, thus gifting them with sentience. They also lay eggs in them that then go on to their offspring. Sometimes they do not. Sometimes the immune, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't go through. It is, the parasites can also spread. And so this is actually a crazy biological parasite from the Dark Continent that was brought over. And in his notes, he talks about how this would be an apocalyptic event for the world if it was widespread. Because all of a sudden, all the horses on carriages and for war, all the pet dogs, pet cats, all the livestock, right? All of a sudden, it would be a very catastrophic event on the structure of the world in general.
Oh yeah.
Furthermore, you gather that eventually the adventure lords were like, hey, or who the people, like some adventure lords back in the day, not necessarily Aslan, but like even before him, were like, hey, we're gonna create a space for you to live because we don't want to like eradicate you all, but also we like can't have you interacting with creatures outside of this space. So stay there. You gather also that he had found a way to mitigate some of these things. Firstly, he found a way to remove the parasite and undo it altogether. So to take a sentient critter and make them no longer sentient.
Oof.
And he also found a way to make it to where they were no longer contagious. You could give it to a critter and they could interact with other critters and not give them sentience. They would no longer have the contagious issue. Further looking at his plans, it seems you are correct, Doctor. He was luring adventurers to take their things. He had orchestrated it in such a way that not too high of leveled adventurers would come here, so they could handle them and slowly build power.
And it makes sense why he was so like eager to give us unearned confidence. Like we were like, I don't know if we can. We were all like, I'm not sure if we can do this, and he was like, oh, absolutely you can. Off you go.
And it goes on to say he had it seems he was close to learning a spell, or he was trying to learn a spell known as Clone, but was not quite able to by the time of his death. And it seems his aspirations were to build up enough forces to march on Resort Dawn, the city, and that be the first city he conquers on a long, essentially, get rid of the humanoids or, overthrow them. I will be the new king.
Animal takeover.
Yeah, basically. In his journals or whatever, there's a lot of taking advantage of how cute animals are seen by others. Yeah, it seems to have been majorly just an attempt to get out of this place and rule. Because if you don't have enough power, then the Adventure Lords will just stop you.
Does it look like there was anyone involved in that part of the conspiracy? It seems like he had Borak and Borak's kind of faction really down with the killing adventurers part.
Yeah.
Who was down, did he have collaborators that we need to worry about, within Critterton or the other settlements that we know of, that also wanted to take over the world?
Borak and them did, but you don't really see anything indicative of other insiders elsewhere.
Okay.
He was very secret.
Well, at least there's that.
I think what else. I mean, yeah, there's a little spell book, and we can get into what spells are in there. Is there any other lore stuff in here? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I mean, he got his start from seeing a body of a dead wizard that came here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, right. And you just slowly learned about the whole parasite thing. It's a symbiotic parasite, though. It's not something that's gonna kill you, right? But, yeah. But what this does tell you, though, is theoretically, if you were to find these potions of ceasing the spread, which Escale may or may not have grabbed, you could theoretically give it to somebody and then take them with you.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, yeah, you get into weird adventure license stuff at that point, but that's whatever.
Does this potion, in these notes, it's not contagious, as in, for example, when Loop was all afraid of coming in contact with other critters, he couldn't give it to them. Mm-hmm. Does this potion also make it so that they cannot transmit it to their children?
Yes,
to their offspring
as well. Yeah.
Oof, that's worse. Okay. Well, if it was just the other way around, right? If you could try to find a way to mass produce it, right? You could essentially inoculate the whole population, right? And then they wouldn't have to be as careful about quarantining. The only animals they have to quarantine are the kids, right? Mm. Before they see who's. But if you mass produce it and give that to everyone, that's just eugenics.
Yeah, you would essentially stop it. Sure. So yeah, there you go. He had lots of plans. There's schematics for a bigger wizard's tower in there.
I mean,
and all that.
It seems like it's kind of okay. Mitt, we do know people at some academic institutions, some of which, if we went high enough up, might know about this or be able to get clearance to know about it. If what you guys want is for us to see if someone can help you make more of these potions or figure out where they are, I guess Escale hasn't actually told us he has them yet, to find them or try to recreate them from these notes. If you want that, I mean, I would be willing to put in a good word. It seems like anything that could improve, I don't know, your isolation / quality of life situations
You hear him go ribbit, and he goes, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Borak was the only thing that made it unpleasant. It's like really nice here.
Yes, I was thinking, I actually would. I think it's actually a blessing in disguise that you are all trapped and hidden away. I would recommend making more and giving them to people like Luke, who had to leave.
Yeah,
But-
that's more what I'm thinking. Less like that everyone, but if you wanted to have like, I don't know, a scouting like I have no idea what this would be. I guess all I'm saying is like, I'm not sure we can expect like the Critterton government situation to be the same forever, right? Like if 50 years from now someone decides that we want to have a scouting party or so, you know what I mean?
Mitt
yes,
just
but
sort
this
of
would
goes,
also help them with the representation issue of people who just gave them rules and left, and now they can't do anything
Right,
about
I
it.
worry about that. Yeah, I mean, you could give it to
With
delegates,
this,
or
you can have somebody go out and be like, "Hey,
Mitt kind of laughs at it. He goes, we can certainly get some wizards, not as high level as Otrax, to begin looking at it, I suppose. He grabs some of the paper, like pats some of the papers. He goes, but Critterton's a small town. And well, this has much potential, and we will work on it for those who want it. Those who would want to leave and not have to worry about getting in trouble for it.
I worry for those who would want to leave, the sentient animals living in the world. I know people might
that
do
might
some
be
unsavory
rough.
things.
Not to mention the fact that it's going to be an even. Well, the truth is, though, I was going to say it would be an even more difficult secret to keep, but level 1 like we are not that uncommon, and we had access to this information.
Yeah,
I
anyone
worry
with a
more
license
about.
could get access to this place.
I worry about people looking for something strange.
Right.
Maybe a researcher, or maybe criminal underground situations.
Oh, Summer was definitely thinking like bad carnival exhibits.
Yeah, same.
But I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that. Like, Summer has just barely enough tact for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess, we noticed, stuff like, I mean, basically, Matt, like, I don't know how much people remember, but like a couple of sessions ago, we were mentioning how like it's actually kind of rough the way that like you could theoretically give sentience to prey as you're killing it, or like you could, that kind of thing, and how it would actually not be that hard to like develop a system where you like fix that, right? Like you just have to like build a ranch, right? Like you'd have to like, there are things that like if they don't want to do it now, Summer's not going to like force it on them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they decide they want to do it in 50 years, they decide this doesn't work for us anymore, we want to build like a proper ranch and hunting ground, or we want to like, and they could use like humanoid help to do it, or they could use being able to go out and get resources, or like not having to be a secret, or like whatever. Like if and when, because like also Mitt is in Critterton, which is like a really small town and very cute, but we also know that there are other settlements. Like what if they don't want that, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. Mitt seems to look at you all, and he's sort of like, me and the others of Critterton will figure out what to do with this information. I appreciate all that you have already done.
I guess all I'm saying is if you decide that you want help later or anything, whatever you decide, you can, I don't want to speak for everybody, but you can let me know at least.
Absolutely, I'd be very interested to see how things develop.
Well, that's very generous of all of you. He kind of laughs himself, like croaks to himself a little bit, and hops off a little bit and goes, "Well, we should celebrate a bit, perhaps. We're free now from Borak." And I will find a way to let everyone know about the Otrak situation.
Oh, I didn't know what you were gonna want to do. I didn't know how you were gonna feel, and I don't know how you guys do like burial and stuff, or even if you were gonna try to want to talk to him. So I did. Well,
Pulls out Squirrel
I
Corpse.
take out Otrax's corpse, which I have probably wrapped in something, and I put it down gently somewhere.
Yeah, he kind of rests it down. He comes up to it, and he looks at it, and he croaks, sort of lays out a holy symbol next to him, and you see the body quickly decompose.
Oh, okay.
Go away.
Well.
And Mitt goes, "Wizards are scary."
Is everything gone?
Yeah, it looks like everything is gone, yeah.
Bones included?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Poofed away.
What was his holy symbol?
It's of the season collar, so it's a...
Or not Mitt, sorry. What was his arcane focus?
Oh, it's his
It was a
little
gem.
staff with the gem on it. That's still there. Alright.
With this, I'm gonna ask a question because I've never been a wizard, so for the, two wizards here. Is this like a usable holy, or arcane focus for anyone who's not a squirrel? Or...
Nah, not really.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, I have it.
Yes, I think Escale should have it.
I mean,
Scale,
that's
add
also...
tiny wizard staff to your...
If
your
also,
inventory.
if there are other
Cool.
squirrels here that want to study wizardry, maybe we should leave the tiny, specially made wizard staff for them. But
Escale,
okay.
add tiny wizard staff to your inventory. And with that, you hear the sounds of the birds tweeting, merry music. And
Is it revelry?
it is revelry. Very much so.
All right, raise your hand if your character's gonna have an existential crisis right now.
Actually, feeling pretty good.
Oh, oh, my hand's up.
He's discovering he's oddly comfortable with death.
Great.
It's just being alive that's hard.
Well,
What a move!
Agreed!
Damn.
This
That
is
was-
why Escale and Caden get along.
Man, I get along with SKO as a character.
Weird.
But yeah, birds are tweeting music. You hear rabbits sort of kicking drums with their feet.
Out
I
drunk.
love this.
Yeah, and there's general merriment in Critterton. You hear somebody go, "Send word to the other settlements. Borak is dead." And a bird sort of takes a letter and begins to fly off.
Witch is dead.
Yeah, essentially, it's the Wicked Witch is dead.
Are we, wait, what?
What?
Is this ending or is this just?
I-
Hey,
No,
we
we're
won.
not
Are we
ending
ending?
the session.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We still got time in this session.
Well, I figured, but you said you got yeah.
No worries, no worries.
It did.
Yeah.
It did sound very.
Did sound very
endy,
endy.
and
This is more me
Yeah.
wrapping up an arc than me wrapping up.
Arc number 1.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've essentially completed what
We
is
did it!
like. There's gonna be post Critterton arc, right, which is what we're experiencing now. But we've essentially wrapped up the Critterton arc.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey.
Caden gets up from sitting next to this pond covered in mud, uses prestidigitation to clean himself off, and goes, "Well, I feel like shit."
I
wants to
have
dance?
something for you, and I will take out one of the tankards of plenty and fill it up. You thirsty?
Oh,
Are you thirsty, Doctor?
What is this?
It is dranky drink.
Is that what it's called?
It is now.
Caden's gonna take it and sniff. Does it smell like alcohol?
It smells very much so like alcohol.
You know, I was just dead.
as soon as I think Summer probably already knows. We've probably been to college parties before. I would like to, as soon as Caden says I don't want this, I would like to offer a hand. Like I'll take it.
Joke's on you, fucker. Caden's line of thought right now is I was just dead.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Mhm.
Let's go. Here you go. And I take out mine and fill mine up.
Good.
I guess they're both mine. Better take out my other one and fill it up.
Yeah.
Caden drinks it and he goes, "This is terrible. Why do people drink this?"
You'll understand in about 20 minutes.
I mean,
What?
keep drinking a little. I mean,
I want, Les is gonna take out the honey and he's gonna eat the honeycomb because he's been waiting to.
Oh yes.
Aw.
Some
And he's gonna share it with Loop.
good. Loop enjoys it very much.
not
Is-
gonna share your vodka because.
I mean, I only have 2 tankards.
All right.
But they each work through time. So I have 6 if
Why
you're
don't we
okay
get
with drinking after enough.
Hey, here's the thing. I don't need a tankard of vodka.
Okay, I don't know what to say to that. That's all I have.
Well, no, I mean, never mind.
That's all I have.
That's all I have.
Caden, how long until Caden gets trashed? Cause he's
Not long at all.
do I need to roll for it?
Roll a Constitution saving
Like a
throw.
day.
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Well, you roll that. Lest.
Am I in on that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Let's go.
Well,
Uh,
that's a natural one.
Oof.
Ah!
Mm-hmm.
Caden's fucking gone.
Yeah, Caden is.
Messed up.
Caden is me and Caden is me and
Yeah.
Adri during Fellowship of the Ring.
Fellowship of the Ring.
So me and Adri were watching Fellowship of the Ring and doing a drinking game with it, and we were gone.
One of my,
11.
I don't know if I told you
11.
guys, but one of my things that I didn't even get to follow because I was fucking gone before I could even do it. We each had characters, right?
Yeah.
And I had Legolas and Aragorn, and mine was like take a sip every time Legolas shoots an arrow, and I was like, oh fuck.
Gone before he even shot a first arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
yeah. Mine was Gandalf and Gimli, and for Gandalf it was like take a sip every time he smokes, every time he uses magic, and every time he's wise.
Aragorn's was like every time he smiles goofily, every time he doesn't think he should be king, and like what's the other one? Like
Every time he kills something.
yeah, every time he kills someone, and then Legolas was every time he's wise, every time he looks off into the distance, and every time he shoots an arrow. So basically, all of both those characters, just every time they looked on screen, like
Yeah, it was awful.
Every-
I'm try
That
this with
is-
y'all sometime. I need to crash Matt's
That
place.
is an
You do, you do.
drinking game.
I will say this weekend is when we return for Return of the Cane, and I bought Crown Royal specifically for that event.
I'm about to go buy
Got
some
something, dude.
vodka.
That's actually
So
what I'm drinking.
Good. Oh, good. Speaking of
Dude,
drinking,
apple is like a caramel
Caden?
apple. It's great.
you are gone.
I
you
love
are,
apple.
Caden, you are zooted out of your mind.
Oh,
And you are just essentially partying and dancing with a bunch of animals.
Oh yeah.
And
At some point, Caden wanders over to Summer and tries to get her to dance, and we'll see how that goes.
Escale, you are also very, very gone. Not as gone as that
I
gift
love
though.
that gift.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Not
I will
Escale.
try to recollect the other tankard. I
Yeah.
assume now that Caden is far gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, right? I'll put it away.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dance attempt probably has a lot to do with how many shots Summer manages to sneak away from Escale and Dr. Caden, Luca Voucher.
Very
Okay,
true.
It's
strong.
14 performance. I rolled 14 for performance.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
at disadvantage.
For dancing?
12 at disadvantage.
For dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dancing well. Caden, go ahead and roll at disadvantage for performance as well, just see how well you are going at it.
Is dancing
How well I'm
performance instead of
dancing?
just dexterity?
I mean, yeah,
Right.
that works too. It can be either or, really, but it's dancing's one of those things. Where it's like, is there a set one? Probably, but I haven't looked into it.
And who cares?
Yeah, who
So-
cares, right? So what?
Disadvantage?
Yeah, disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't mean to rip you in for that.
Pretty
I'm totally
good,
for it.
actually. I rolled, the lower roll was a 15, so,
Aye.
18.
Ooh.
Ooh, 18.
Don't you have -4 to all ability checks?
Ooh.
You do have a
You know,
-4
I
to all
probably
ability
do.
checks, yeah, because of raised dead.
I probably do.
14.
So 14.
That's
Yeah.
still pretty good.
Yeah, so yeah, you're still
For
dancing
being newly
better than
alive.
Escale, despite being more
Yep.
drunk than Escale. But Escale at a certain point, some younger wizards come to you and are like, "We heard you're a wizard.
You.
It's indeed, my friends. How may I help you?
We were wondering if you could well, not, maybe you're too drunk for it, I don't know, but could you help us learn some cool magic stuff?"
Would be my pleasure.
All right.
Oh my god.
Make an Arcana check for how accurate the information is that you give them. At disadvantage because you're
Ooh,
drunk.
that's a natural one.
Oh my gosh!
you have made them learn things that will get in the way of them learning real things later in life. You know when you learn something wrong
Right.
and then later you struggle to relearn the right thing?
Maybe it's not entirely
Sorry?
wrong. It's just another perspective that they need to, know.
Yeah,
It's
know.
important, Yeah,
exactly.
And if at any point you need more help, I have a co-wizard.
Oh, I think you
he's
prob-
a wizard.
I mean,
No. My friend over there, the amazing dancer.
yeah, it's him.
The one who's alive again, right?
Yeah.
Now we have 2 alive wizards. It's crazy. He
Two.
he could be probably a lot of help. I think he's more suited than me right now, but he's
Oh,
better
well,
at
we probably shouldn't
explaining
ask him
things.
then.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. But definitely sometime. Just hit him up. Just see what he's got with him on the day. With his kind, you're never gonna know.
They kind of nod to you, their eyes, bunnies and such. Go off on their way. Yeah, I mean,
Most
festivities
souls
are
helped.
festivities are being had. Les, what are you up to besides eating honey with Loop? So you've got drunk dancing, Escale, drunk dancing, Caden. Just sort of, when you're super drunk, it's kind of hard to do other things, really, besides just exist.
Yeah. I think Les is just kind of chilling out.
Mhm.
I think he's trying to quite honestly, I think he's trying to get baking ingredients off of the farm stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's trying to bargain and be like, hey, what's the possibility that I could get 3 bags of berries?
They are kind of treating you guys as heroes. It's almost that. So they're kind of just giving you whatever you'd ask.
I don't think Les is gonna allow that, so I think everything
No.
that they give him is gonna give them a gold or something.
Sure. They take the gold and they're
So-
like, we don't know what this kind of currency is, but neat.
Oh, I mean, you can melt it. You can ask the miner. Oh,
They kind
I
of go,
don't have-
yeah, we can melt it down, and they're excited about it. So.
But yeah, can I like write out what he would probably ask for and see if I get
Yes,
it?
you certainly may. Just put that in Lesta's
Cool.
best, actually, if you could.
Yes, nice. BRB.
And in summer, how are you spending the festivities in Gritterton? Escale and Caden, though very drunk, are accompanied by very soft, very nice, like elk, horses, capybara, bunnies. They seem safe despite their
Okay, cool.
complete and utter drunkenness.
Summer probably again just like attempts to. I don't think she wants to get drunk. I think she wants to have like 2 shots the entire night.
Yeah.
Kind of like she wants to be pleasantly tipsy
Do you
for a
want
while.
rabbit-sized shots or human-sized shots?
Human-sized shot.
Okay.
Like I find a rabbit-sized normal cup, and then at some point I sneak some vodka off of Caden.
Good.
Yeah, but I mean like she wants to be that pleasantly tipsy, but like by the time she goes to bed she's basically sober kind of thing.
That's good.
She will definitely dance a little bit in that way that you dance with drunk people to oblige them, and it's really funny for like 5.5 minutes, and then this isn't, so you leave because like although I do think she's never seen Caden drunk before, and that's hilarious.
Caden insists on waltzing.
Yes, we do that. Yeah, Summer will waltz with Caden for a
Good.
few minutes.
Caden insists on it.
Is only hilarious because it is.
You guys see really interesting
Listen.
stuff too. Sorry, go ahead, Esko.
I was gonna say, Les is not around, right?
Lest is currently getting supplies,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also
but
like
it's a
this is,
long
like-
party.
I got
It's a long
special
party,
mushrooms.
so-
Yeah, oh boy.
Let's go, bro. Come on, hold out on me.
But then at some point, I do want to say, I think probably some point like soonish, but it kind of depends on, I don't know what Adri's gonna, I don't know what everybody's gonna, say to this. Like at some point, Summer wants to talk to Les. But like, yes, also waltzing. That works.
At some
That
point,
works.
I'd say, because it sounds like Escale maybe wanted to do something with Les. When Les gets back from resource stuff, whilst you're waltzing with Dr. Caden, Escale, you notice Les is now present.
Are they still waltzing?
Oh no, Les isn't waltzing. Dr.
No,
Caden.
I'm sorry. Caden and Summer, are they still waltzing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, I rolled a 23 for a dexterity or a 21 for performance.
Cool. You are also doing well. And also, it's worth noting before whatever
Rocking it.
interaction here happens, it's really cool to see animals that are capable of coming up with dancing styles dance. Like the birds in
I
particular
bet.
are really fun to watch.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, it's really a sight to see these like cardinals, blue
Just
jays,
the
these very
movie
colorful
Rio.
birds just dancing in the air
Yes.
around you guys. It's a very beautiful sight.
I mean, also, I would bet like all of those like quadrupeds, your elk and your horses and your that has got to be some cool vibes.
Yeah. No, it is a wonderful, beautiful thing to observe.
It's the movie Rio combined with Lion King on Broadway.
Oh man, you just gave me an idea.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The movie Rio about the dead extinct birds because humanity couldn't keep them alive.
And
Yeah.
they made a cute movie about it, so it's fine, right? Smile.
No, they actually went extinct.
Yeah.
Yes.
List.
Oh, hi, Skill.
Buddy. Come here. I need
Okay.
a partner. Admit I love your style, but it's a bit cramped for me, and you're short. List. Let's
Yeah?
dance.
Okay.
All right, both of you make a performance check. We'll do.
Oh. Natural one.
3.
3. Okay.
10.
All right. You guys have a great time, but it is not good dancing.
I
is.
do great. I'm the best dancer alive.
Yeah, you certainly feel that way, Escale, for sure, for sure. But it is a fun time.
Honestly, why do you get drunk if not so you can dance and think you're good at it?
Mhm.
Like,
I mean, true.
God.
That is very true.
Al, Caden, and Summer are dancing. He's, laughing at nothing. And then he starts laughing at the other two dancing, but in a way where he's not like making fun of them. He's just like, wow, we all look like shit.
Yeah, you looked worse when you were dead. Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Guess what? I saw Summer.
Boom.
Yes, Caden.
I saw someone.
What? Who?
Your mother.
I saw Master Isaiah.
Oh my goodness! While you were dead.
Yes. He showed up and he was like, I'm here to take you. I'm alive.
Is he dead?
Kind of.
How's somebody kind of dead?
As you
Fucking
see Escale out
weird.
of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, well, okay, except him.
I don't know. It was
He
weird.
tried to take you somewhere and you didn't go?
Well, he wanted to take me. I was going, and then I heard all of you and was like, well, I have work to do.
That is true.
I would not have survived if it weren't for you.
Well, we wouldn't have survived if it weren't for you.
No, I mean in general, not for that specific fight alone.
This is a fun little bit when you're not as drunk as your drunk friend, and all of a sudden things are very deep, and you're like, oh, cool, we're here.
I'm doing this to you on
To
purpose.
be fair, you chose to be sober for this kind of
I
performance.
know. I'm assuming that Summer has, because I haven't projected it onto her yet. I'm just going with my default sort of like tipsy state, which honestly is, not as drunk as I'd like. But oh, what do you mean?
It was just so much. It was really lonely for a long time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Actually, what do you mean before?
Yes. Got sick. And then I got stabbed.
And
Well, I think I got stabbed and sick at the same time.
Really.
Yes.
Did you get sick from being stabbed, or did someone stab you because you got sick?
No, somebody else got sick and then I got stabbed.
That sounds like it sucks.
No, it really was bad.
Is that why you had to go to the hospital?
Yes, because I had a big old stab wound in my belly.
I think I remember something about that when I was there.
Yes, you were there, and that's why you're so great.
Yes,
Well,
I approve.
wait, you approve of getting stabbed?
Nope.
Just,
Well-
been so difficult. I'm really bad at this. I'm not very strong.
You mean at being drunk? Or at expressing your feelings?
think you're strong.
A big old pile of twigs. Look at me, I have no muscle mass.
A strong pile. Hey, you put a lot of twigs together, they get harder to break.
I don't know if that's entirely true, but sure.
You have way too much alcohol in you to be questioning my nature wisdom right now, I think. I was lost in the jungle for like 6 years.
You weren't. We both know you weren't actually lost.
I actually, you're gonna not believe this, but for a good bit of it, I actually was lost. I did get lost,
but
not all of it, but well,
you
some,
weren't lost
whatever.
in the jungle the whole time. I know what you think. And he pokes your forehead.
You know what I think? That's very rude.
I know what's going on in that clever little brain of yours.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Well, as soon as I decrypt your fun little code, I'll know everything that's going on in your brain. How does that sound?
You can try. If you do it, it's, it's yours, I guess.
I mean,
I'm just here to stall you.
You did leave it to me in your will, so it is mine.
I didn't leave the knowledge to you, I left the physical book.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It is.
No. Because I could put it in a different book.
Or you could put it in Mind Goop.
I could do that. You'd like that a lot, wouldn't you? Make your life a lot easier.
Why are you two talking about more goop?
Do you want some goop?
Well, because I don't actually think he can encode his thoughts into the goop if they're in code. I think it's too many codes for him. I don't think he can handle it.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I might be drunk, but I'm not gonna fall for your shit!
Wait, I think that might be a problem. If it's in I like pause dancing. If it's in code thoughts, but it's in a code, wouldn't that be like 2 codes?
There's only one way to know, and we have to try it for science.
For magic, we need
yes.
to know.
Joke's on you though. I'm not gonna tell you shit. Because I partially think it's funny, but also I worry for your safety.
How does the goop even work? You wipe this stuff on me like 3 times.
Wipe it on yourself. You just got to touch it, and sometimes you don't do it fast
I don't want to touch your goop.
But it gives
It's
you
your
knowledge.
I hate everything about this.
The knowledge goop.
We have got to come up with better terminology than touch your goop.
I completely agree.
What do you think, Les?
We have
Since
problem
apparently
with it.
we are now dancing parallel.
I like that idea.
I don't know. I don't really. I'm fine with goop. I just don't know what to think about right now.
He is truly the best of us.
Tell you what I'm thinking. I never realized you were so tall. You're like taller than me.
Ooh.
Blessed.
What?
Person I've been dancing with.
You're short. The fuck?
What?
Okay.
Excuse you. I am a perfectly fine height. You're just tall.
A nearby
Summer.
squirrel goes, "You're all tall to me."
That's
Caden
right,
rests his
buddy.
forehead on Summer's shoulder and is just losing it.
Yeah, she's definitely doing the thing as they are dancing where she is more and more just kind of like hug supporting
Mhm.
him. And she might even like be like patting his head, kind of like hair kind of thing.
Like, there, it's okay, it's okay.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Caden hasn't been drunk probably ever or in a very long time.
That's what you got me for.
Here we go.
You're okay.
Just all these Kermit names. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll all be there. We'll be there. Hey Matt.
Yes.
And maybe Tegan. Caden is drunk, and I would like to. I don't have the eye chart with me, but I would like to see. I would like to like look at his eyes. Like, is there a similarity between when he is, kind of not there and when he is drunk? Do his eyes just look different naturally from drunkenness in a way I'll have to take into account later? There's no way Summer wouldn't be curious about this, so I have to ask.
I believe.
If you
Sorry, go ahead, Dr. Caden.
feel like drunk Caden is very different than not sane Caden.
Gotcha. All right. It's good to know. And also, it's good to know that he didn't come back from the dead insane. Like on a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool to know too. Anyway, you're okay. Hey, if you get sick again, or if you get stabbed again, we'll all be there.
I got frozen blasted by a squirrel.
I know, me too.
Crazy.
I can't wait to read his books.
Yeah, I saved them all for you.
You're a dream of.
Thanks, love.
Boy, if he has books, do you think he had pins too?
He has.
You mean, like-
to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I
Hey,
have
do
a
you
lot
feel...
of pens.
So many? Like, how did he even get them?
I would like to do a sleight of hand trick, and make it seem like at the same time I pull two pencils out from behind both of their ears. Like, you guys have pens. See, look, they're right here.
From my hat.
Sorry, can you say that again? I think you cut out.
Did that come from my hat?
Whoa.
I got it from right behind your ear. I don't know what you're talking about.
Suspicious.
I turn around quickly. I keep turning around. Turn around again.
It was just here behind your ear.
What kind of pin did I make?
Yes, you produced with your yes.
What kind?
It's like a graphite pencil that Summer has a million of because she has to do archaeological stuff.
Let me see.
Yeah, here
me
you
see.
go.
Oh my gosh. I pull out my book of shadows and I throw it into a random page and I close the book on it.
Brilliant. I rolled a 16 sleight of hand.
I think you beat me no matter what.
I use my
Yeah, y'all are
quill that
drunk.
I can just manifest into existence because fun subclass. And I use it to go tickle the back of Summer's ear.
And you do this without me noticing, or just like,
Hopefully.
or you just come up
Make
to
a
like,
sleight of
we're
hand
dancing.
check versus since everyone's like pulling tricks on each other right now, go ahead and roll actual perception with Summer.
Alright.
Instead of your passive. We'll just have versus.
Okay. I got a 14.
Okay. And what's your
Oh,
sleight of
fuck
hand?
you. Cool.
Nice.
I got a 17.
All right.
Ooh,
I'm
okay,
Minus
yeah.
4 though, so oops.
Oh, so a 13.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Summer's gonna pretend that this works. She's gonna like bat it away and like spin a little bit and be like, "Now what is that? Now what could that be?"
That might have been. Caden, I'd say you're too drunk to know that this is a lie.
Oh yeah.
Just from jump.
Must have been ghost.
A ghost? Wait, can you see
Ghost.
those now? Since you were dead.
I saw a ghost. No, it wasn't a ghost though. It was
All
kind
right,
of a ghost.
Come on,
I am a
calm
ghost.
down. Come here.
You are a
Summer's-
ghost.
I'm a ghost in the night.
Oh shit.
I am
Ghost
not.
evil in his face.
Hey, Escale, for real though, were you dead?
I'm. What does that mean? I mean,
Aren't we all dead, technically?
No, we're not.
You're not.
Oh,
be
we
honest,
are not truly alive.
I think the word you're looking for is undead, but yeah,
Um,
sure.
what does being alive even mean?
You're
Exactly.
you are alive.
I'm walking away from this
Yeah,
conversation.
Les walks away.
Yo,
Uh,
no. I need a dance partner.
Yeah, I definitely Summer just like, all right, calm down, and like pulls Kaden back into like a weird slow hug dance of like, okay, don't like fall down.
Well, I walked away. I just stumble over myself and fall.
Oh no!
As you- As you fall, a few of the capybara come by and just like hoist you up because you're so
Oh.
light and like move you to a softer spot.
Quite some strong folks. Thank you.
They got no problem.
Do you maybe need to lay down, Kaden? You feel like you're ready to?
Maybe that's a good idea.
All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah, this is
Guide-
an all-day party, so it's gonna be all the 19th.
I'm gonna guide Kaden to. Yeah, I don't know how early. I guess it was morning. Did we start drinking at like 10 a.m.?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is that what
That's how
happened?
we do it.
All right,
Yep.
cool. At what point are they passing out?
Like middle of the day.
All right, cool.
maybe
I
maybe more
lead
like
Kaden to,
1 or
like,
2 p.m. probably.
wherever
Right there.
out.
I'm just like
Yeah, at some point,
staring into nothing.
Yeah.
Summer switches to carrying Kaden, and it's nice carrying him when he's not dead. So much nicer than when he was dead.
Yes.
And lays him down near Escale with probably like a capybara buddy or whatever, and
Caden's he's immediately like asleep and he's definitely grabbing the closest thing to him to, cuddle with.
Sure.
I think
Is that me?
It might be you.
It might be me. Okay.
It's whatever
a
is
pile,
next to him.
a pile of drunken and passed out animals, Escale, and now Doctor is added to the pile.
okay.
Even though he's asleep, I'm like, the last time we were here, there was no one near this close. We were talking about wizardry. And we were talking
Wizard.
about notes.
Yeah. All right. I think
I mean,
Now that
everything
kid-
else around me is passed out.
Yeah.
I'm just like drunken mumbling.
Yeah,
It's-
Escale's the only one who does not pass out in this pile.
I was about to
Okay.
ask. I was gonna say. I think as soon as Caden is like asleep and like Summer has like a minute, her intellectual brain turns back on, and I would actually like to pay attention to if Escale actually falls asleep.
Well, do you?
Watching me?
I mean, like from a like I just want to see if Escale passes out. Like,
Distance.
If I see someone watching me, I'm just gonna stare back and start making like weird faces.
are you gonna be okay?
Yeah. Are you? You don't
Well-
know what becomes us.
You're really foreboding.
Oh, I get that from dying.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see if in the morning you guys have that in common. And I think Summer just like tiptoes over and like maybe kisses them both on the forehead just
Aw.
ever so slightly.
Aww.
Well, it's so fond. I mean, come on.
Just because happens to be the music that's playing, there is now a rabbit playing a miniature piano.
Oh
A
god.
miniature.
Play
piano.
miniature what?
Piano.
Us.
Adorable.
Using its
Well,
little
okay,
rabbit
while
feet on the
Caden's
pedals.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Yeah, and as this day-long party continues, you notice some woodpeckers have been working on making statues of all of you and Loop. Loop is actually giving a drunken speech after he ate some honey and then drank a bit about how
Oh my
grand the
goodness.
adventure was.
You give him all the here.
Yeah,
Cheers.
How true is it?
it's actually really true, and you realize that it seems word of
cool.
Otrax's betrayal has already gotten round at some
Yeah,
point during
Loop
this.
is probably the best person to honestly be the vessel for that.
But the story is
Also,
told. Yeah.
I'd like to also talk to the yell, I guess, probably
Sure.
at the creatures the woodpeckers making the statues to like buff up Escale and give him like a slightly bigger head.
Roll a
Yeah,
persuasion or
big chin.
intimidation check, whichever one you think is what you're going for.
I
So-
don't know, am I intimidating because I'm drunk?
I don't know. It's up to you, honestly. If you're trying to be more persuasive or intimidating, I'll leave that
I
up to
think
you.
he comes across intimidating, but he doesn't mean to.
All right, so make an
like,
intimidation.
He's just like trying to like convince them, but he doesn't recognize as he's being
Yeah.
intimidating.
For sure. He doesn't recognize the intimidation, but he definitely is.
Is this at disadvantage still?
Nah, just roll regular.
Regular. Let's go. 14 plus.
Plus.
Intimidation would be a 20.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they begin
I
to
want
do
the big
so. You
chin,
kind of see
big
your.
arm, big head.
And you notice these woodpeckers have added little add-ons to their beak to make them even better at sharpening away at wood, and sometimes they'll replace the instrument for different things they're doing on the wood carving.
That is actually so cool.
Yeah. No, I've given
I would
lots
like
of thought to
also
the
compliment
mechanics.
them on that.
Yeah. I've thought long and hard about a lot of the mechanics of this place. The mechanics. Yeah, I mean, the party goes on for some time. And,
I mean, Summer would like to talk to Lest at some point,
alright.
but I think after all of the fun and games and oh, our friends are drunk kind of shenanigans and oh, Lest is getting baker's supplies, that's funny and normal. If Lest is moving sort of
Mhm.
away or sort of avoiding Summer, she's probably not gonna
I don't think
super directly.
I don't think he's avoiding her. I think he's just trying to gather her stuff before they have to leave. And he does want to talk to Mitt.
Responsible party member.
I'm back.
Well, it's mostly for baking stuff, so it's not really
Yeah.
the priorities aren't super in check, but they're a little in
I
check.
mean, baking is pretty dope. Anytime you bake for
Baking
people,
has-
that's
baking has-
super unselfish.
Baking has helped the campaign more than any of the ranger class
Anything
features.
else? I was like, yeah.
The baking has been so useful.
Any of our class features, any of, yeah.
I think we made the baking thing a little too OP. Not gonna lie.
I mean, part of
People
it,
love fucking baked goods.
part of it is that we just know how to use it. In that
And-
first task, they were like, it can be any challenge, and we're like,
I mean,
baking.
come on. I feel like people would have advantage on persuasion rolls against me if they gave me a really delicious treat, you know? Oh, awesome. A warm, fresh
Yeah,
cookie?
that's very
It's
true.
like friends without the detriment.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who has
Yo,
a...
it's the mom effect where like your mom makes you cookies and milk so that you can talk. And she's not. My mom's never done that, but
Speaking as someone who has like a very common food allergy too, like I have had like it's almost not fair how quickly you can get in my I do not trust people easily, and I have to keep this in mind because like if someone takes the energy, like they take the time and energy to make for me or even purchase for me a dessert that I can eat, like one without dairy specifically, and they give it to me and I can eat it, in that moment I would die for them and I would kill for them. Like it is such a ridiculously like intimate and personal thing to just like make someone a brownie. Like I get it.
Yeah, no, for sure, it is good. And so yeah, I mean, if you want to have a conversation with Les at the tail end of the festivities, I think everyone else is passed out except Escale, but he is nonetheless chilling.
Well, here's the thing: is I think I feel like this is an Adrian. I have to like kind of figure out if this is how this, because I think this is the sort of thing where Summer is like looking at Les as if like she needs a cue for approval to talk to him, because she is assuming that he doesn't want to talk to her, and if she never sees one, she won't talk to him even if he didn't actually give any cues that he didn't. Does that please
I get
tell
you.
me someone knows the exact
I
experience
get what
I
you're
am
saying.
describing,
I get what
where
you're
you
saying.
want to talk to a person at a party and you end up not doing it for like 5 whole days because you're doing this exact anxiety cycle. Right? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know if like, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
If that's like a role or like a
Like,
Give him the look.
just give, yeah, I mean, both of you, okay, we'll do the bit from the Free and Win, the early days of the Free and Win campaign. Both of you just roll a d20. You don't add anything to it. This is just a knowing look.
11.
11, okay.
9.
A little, maybe perhaps a bit of confusion between this look of like, there's a moment of like, wait, are you wanting to talk? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then it all clears up partway through. It's not too complex of a thing being portrayed. Just like, we should, yeah. So you guys manage.
It's painful and messy and annoying. We're family and it sucks, but we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think like after like everything maybe like at some point Lest is just like somewhere and Summer just like appears and gives you the strongest and most like annoyingly maybe a little bit brutal and out of nowhere bear hug.
Cool.
Just
Let's
like
awkwardly hug back.
Like just like total half tackle like hi like
Yeah, Les is definitely gonna like hug back, but not as tight. But because I don't think he wants. But
hi. Are you okay?
yeah. Are you okay?
I mean, I'm like alive, and almost wasn't.
Yeah, I get that.
No, but like, when I came to in there, you were like alone over 2 unconscious bodies.
Yeah, I'm
Having-
trying not to think about that right now.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what I was wondering. You haven't, unless it was in the years we haven't talked about, I guess. You know, kind of been in that situation before, and I...
I definitely have not.
We don't. Hey, listen. These guys are great. And we don't have to keep going. Is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're wanting to go back, if you're wanting to go home, and what's stopping you is that I'll still be here. I'll go where you are. If you We don't have to keep going.
I don't want to go home. It's been fucking crazy, but I don't want to go back home.
Summer is visibly relieved. I mean, that was a huge... I don't think she's literally talked to her mother yet. I think she would have, like, showed up at Lest's birthday party after her mother left on purpose. So she could say hello to everyone else in the family, except her. If you want to go home, I will go home with you. Like, I won't leave again.
Mm-hmm.
Was not a promise she wanted to actually have to follow through on, probably. Okay. Do we need to, like, talk?
Do you want to?
I don't want you to be mad at me.
I'm not really mad. I just really wanted to get out of the cave.
I mean, yeah.
Oh. No, I mean, yes, it seemed like maybe you were sensitive. No, I meant before.
Oh,
I love that. Oh, that!
yeah. I don't really want to talk about that right now.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I mean, that's... I just, it's hard if you want to. I'm, here. I'm probably gonna try to gather some stuff up and see what else I can learn about the place before night. Are you gonna talk more to Mid? It seemed like you guys got along really well.
yeah, I actually kind of wanted to talk to him a little bit before we left.
Do you guys, is that, I guess, the season person? Summer's so bad at this.
Les is just like, please, I can't do this anymore.
Like a person you like, I guess?
Yeah, you could call it that.
As with this, you hear a
Okay.
ribbit. You're not to interrupt
Yeah,
a very obviously
Summer will
not
leave.
awkward conversation.
Matt DM-wise is like, okay, I gotta end it now.
I'll see you around, I guess.
It is true.
Okay,
Sometimes
see you around.
sometimes in D&D conversations, just like real conversations, there is no like. You can get into the end, even though you've technically already said when. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that just happens. So part of the DM's job is to be like,
No, it was definitely like when like a family member is about to leave,
Mhm.
but then they feel like they haven't done whatever, like, well, this didn't work, and so there's like one last straw
Yeah.
of like, so I noticed you had this one very specific toy. Is that a brand you like? And you can like feel that like you're getting that for Christmas for the next 10 years.
Alrighty, so Mitt has shown up here, and the festivities have died down quite a bit. He kind of comes on by and he's like, all right, get some rest, Summer. Looks over at you last, and he goes, he kind of pats the ground next to him.
Oh, he sits down. I don't think Les has changed. I don't think
You're still muddy.
maybe a little bit, yeah.
Mhm.
I think with like Les having hunted before, I think he doesn't mind having mud all over his clothes.
Yeah. It kind of goes, for lack of a better conversation starting point, it seems you are a descendant of a servant to the god I serve, so I, of course, have an interest in that.
Yeah, about that. Do I need to do things? I never got clarification. I don't really know
Mitt goes,
what's going on.
Mitt kind of takes a second and he looks side to side and he goes, you do need to do something.
Oh,
You need to eat, drink, get lots of rest, and enjoy the moments.
I can do that. That's pretty easy.
And as he says, he goes, just and he kind of does a little ribbon. He goes, whatever brought you out into this big world, being an adventurer and all that, just keep doing that. I mean, there's a lot of nature out there to experience.
Yeah, I've kind of found that out already. It's very surprising turn of events when we were walking through the forest.
And as he says this, you're almost reminded of what Aslan said to you.
I was just thinking that.
Because you had said I just needed to, if I recall, you had said you just wanted to get away, or you wanted to. What was the exact wording? I looked in your journal the other day. I remember seeing it.
Fuck, I don't have my journal on me. Surprisingly enough.
But it was the idea of wanting to get out,
Wanting to do something.
wanting to do something. Yeah. And he kind of goes, I think. I don't mean to be a bearer of bad news, but there isn't anything you have to do. I mean, I don't know, maybe the fates know that kind of thing, but as far as the season caller is concerned, nature doesn't need to do anything. It just does. You don't need to be anything. You don't need to do anything. Besides, what it's natural. Eat, drink, sleep. And even then, in this world of ours, there are natural ways to not have to do those things too.
As much as I didn't think this conversation would make sense, it does make sense, I guess, now. Makes a lot more sense than before.
Well, I'm glad that could be the case for you. And, sort of, Mitt just sort of goes, I hope that's helpful in some way.
Yeah, it is. I guess the hardest part of it is just doing it without overthinking it.
Well, if that's the thing, if that's the natural thing you do, then don't get too hung up on it. I know that sounds weird to say, don't get too hung up on worrying, but...
Yeah.
And he kind of lays down in the mud a little bit. Mitt sort of digs it up a little bit to get a bit cooler. Dirt. He goes, I think there's a lot more adventures out there for you all. That isn't just here. You get a sense of these things sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Les like lays back in the dirt.
It's a read you get on people sometimes. That, well.
Horrible gif. Horrible
Of the
gif.
frog. But he just goes, sometimes you meet individuals, good or bad, that you just get that feeling, you know?
Yeah,
That
I can see that.
Or... He kind of sits there for a bit and he goes, I assume there will be other places you'll want to go. Or better yet, there will be other places that will be fun to go to. But know that you can always come back here. After all, you should have access to the old teleportation circles that Otrax had once one of your wizards learns how to do it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You can come here anytime.
That would be really fun. I would really like that. I'm gonna miss you guys. Thank you for helping me.
Thank you for helping us.
I think Les just kind of lays down and looks up. He's just kind of chilling.
And he goes, well, I'm gonna go to my bed. But rest well.
You too.
He sort of hops off. And as the end of the 19th of the rain moon comes, I had said we would end sometime between 6:30 and 7.
Did you get my message,
I did get
Matt?
your message, do not worry. With the quietness of the night, and not so much that it's distracting or makes it hard to sleep out in the open, the slightest occasional trickle of rain. After the events of the last few days, sleep takes you all. And I think, honestly, at the end of the Critterton arc, this would be as good a place to end as any. Because I said we would end around 6:30 to 7, I think, to Adri earlier.
Yeah, sorry guys.
No worries. Adri is going through Shark Week. So, and also I am a wee bit tired.
Hey,
as
Matt, you level up.
well. You not?
She danced so good.
For sure.
I am sure. But I'm proud of you.
It's okay if
everyone.
you didn't mind.
Because this session was really good. I'm really happy with all of it.
Matt, you did great. You're doing great DM
Yeah,
stuff.
this is really good. And we got lots
Wow, Matt, you really know how to keep Caden in the game. Show up and be like, haha, JK, not actually dead. Also, here's a whole bunch of really important
of
information.
Well, I mean, it was definitely... I also was semi-tempting your character to maybe go to the afterlife. I wanted there to be a bit of a choice. With the whole, getting the rest that you deserve. And,
Oh no, Caden probably would have gone if he hadn't dropped all that info on him.
Fair enough.
And I'm glad he did, because do all that work lugging him back for nothing.
So, what do you guys think about the explanation for how the animals are alive? Well, actually, real
I
quick,
liked it.
I'm gonna end the episode here, but much love to everyone.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.